This is the URT. We are the URT. You are the URT. Welcome to the URT. Can you hear me? Loud and clear, people. Can you please hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Khalees, can you hear me? Yeah. Big up, Jim. Where are the bootlickers, man? Where are the bootlickers? Where are the bootlickers? Big up to everybody. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. But we're here to talk about Manchester United. Headline is Manchester United are out of the FA Cup, beating on penalties by Fulham, who deserved it. In injury time and since we scored the equaliser, they were the better team. They were the team that was pushing. They were the team that was doing. Ben, let me know if you can jump on. I'll send you the link. They were the better team. And I don't know what else to say. I really don't know what else to say other than that. I predicted that we were going to get knocked out, so I can't come here and scream. But I want to show you who was on Manchester United's bench today. So I'll have a look at and see who was on Manchester United's bench. I want to show you a little bit from the game, and we're going to have a look at and see who's on Manchester United's bench. There's no shame in losing penalties at all. No shame at all in losing penalties. But yeah, these were the substitutions today. I want to go through them. If I'm not mistaken, Will Murdoch is a goalkeeper as well. And H. Grants. So Lindelof, Obi, Heaven, and Garnacho were the players that he could have bought on. Let me just bring this up for you guys. Please smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Let me share this screen so I can show you lot. Look at the bench here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 players on the substitute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I think these two are goalkeepers. If I'm not mistaken, please somebody help me. H. Grant is a goalkeeper and Murdoch is a goalkeeper. So you had Lindelof, Obi, Heaven, and Garnacho and Casemiro to bring off the bench. While they bought on Jimenez, Reed, Sigurdsson, Smith Rowe. So that's what they made. Smith Rowe came on, Sigurdsson came on, Reed came on, Jimenez came on, William came on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They made 5 substitutions. 5 substitutions they made. 5 substitutions. And we made 4. It is what it is. This is the changes that they made. Changes they made. There's 1 there. Reed, Sigurdsson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They made 5 substitutions. And that's the difference, people. That is the difference of where we're at in terms of Manchester United. So I'm not going to put this result on Amorim alone. Amorim's not alone in this. Who is responsible are Ineos, because they let 3 players go and bought in 1. So we're 2 players short, especially in attacking areas. And they said, nah, we're not giving you anything to bring on anything. So they bought this guy. Big up to Khalees from Lassie, by the way, Chief Editor, United Real Therapy. Yeah, I'll send a link now. Big up. Twitter is acting funny, actually. At times, saying to me, I can't send messages. Fuck Elon, man, the prick. Big up to you, Ben. Send you the link. Here we go. There we go. Hope you received that now. But yeah, just to say that Manchester United, for me, yeah, are dog shite. But let's have a look at the stats. Let's have a look at the stats from the game. There we go. In attack, let's see what we did in attack. We had 20 shots, 10 on target. They had 6 on target. Block shots, 1-1. Attempts outside the box, 6. They had 7. Offsides, 2-1. Distribution. Accurate passes. Can you see there? We have 3-4-8, 5-8-3. Total passes. They made more passes than us. Forward passes. Total long balls. We had more long balls. Successful final third passes. 90. Look at the difference there. 140 nearly. Total crosses. 35-28. Touches in the opposition box. 31. 25. Dispossessed 17 times, 11 times. Goalkeepers. He didn't have much to do, to be fair, their goalkeeper. Yeah, he made better saves towards the end of the game. And then obviously he saved the penalties. But that's where we were. I don't think we defended. I don't think it was a horrendous. I thought it was a horrendous first half. Horrendous first half. But I think after we scored, we looked a lot better in terms of shape. And today, definitely, we didn't play this open, expansive football. We played a bit more of a mid-low block. That's what we did. That's what we played. We played a bit more mid to low block. I can't fault the players for giving it their all, but they were not helped by what's going on the bench. Pick up Mumbai. I hope you well. We're just going through a little bit of the. But yeah, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. Big up to Khalid Ramadan Lasik. I'm going to get to the statement from overnight, part of the embargo press conference last night. What Amarin said, but I want to wish everybody, all the Muslims out here, Ramadan Kareem, to all the Muslims, and happy Sunday to everybody else worldwide, especially the Christians. Yeah, it's Sunday. So yeah, happy Sunday. Big up to everybody. None of the people who don't believe anything. Happy Sunday to you too. Are we getting that up, Khalees? I know that statement, what he said was really interesting. But we're getting that up, and I'm going to try to maybe even make a video about it tomorrow. I might mention it briefly. But please smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I put the loss down to Ineos handicapping this coach and having 2 less players on the bench to go on in the game. That's what I put it down to. Because at the end, we needed to freshen it up. Fulham did that. Manchester United couldn't do it. Fulham were in the ascendancy lot better. Big up to Delay. I don't think he's had some good games lately. He's been looking dopey. Against Everton, he was horrendous. Today, we put on some incredibly big challenges. But when we play a bit more low block, him and Maguire play better, of course. Kumbaye, salam, brother. How are you? How's the first day of Ramadan treating you?
Peace and blessings all around. Big up yourself. Big up the therapy army. Yeah, the first day of fasting in Ramadan today. It was nice. I've done a few months prior. I always do. So I just blend straight into it. But yeah, hopefully
you prepare the body. Prepare the body.
Yeah, I find fasting. I just generally enjoy it, and my mind works quite well when there's nothing in the tank, and I have a lot of energy. It's weird. Some people don't. Some people like get cranky. They need a coffee or a cig or some food. I'm opposite. I have very light breakfast. I don't never eat lunch, never at lunch, but I do enjoy my dinner. That's my favorite meal. But yeah, um, Fulham had us for dinner today. No, it was quite a boring game, which is not something uncommon to hear about Man United. Just
First
kind of,
half was.
yeah,
First half
yeah,
was
yeah,
dull. First half was
yeah,
dull.
yeah. It was dull. Problem is, you know what happens sometimes with me? It kind of knocks me out. I start falling asleep in the first half, and then I can barely get up for the second. But the boys tried. They huffed and they puffed, but we're in a lot of trouble. I thought Onana did his job today. He kept us in the game. Um, it is what it is. I'm afraid this is just the story of the season. We have to wait till the summer for wholesale changes to then determine if Amarim is the right manager at a certain point, and to start seeing some improvements. But there was a few decent performances today. But in the main, man, we weren't great. I think the highlight from our side was the goal. I thought it was an amazing goal. The way he caught it first time was a great goal. But other than that, bro, I don't know. I missed your. What did you think of the game? I mean, I was watching just before I came on here. Um, Somebody's review of the game, and I looked at the comments, and a lot of people are either succumbed to this type of thing being our season. Many people have give up on the season. Many people are saying that their manager doesn't quite know what he's doing and they have no faith in him on the back of that performance. What's your assessment?
My assessment of today's game, I thought first half we were dreadful. It was absolutely dreadful first half. They scored going into half time. We came out. They looked really comfortable for the first 20 minutes of that second half. We scored. Then we got ahead of ourselves, and it was more to do with the crowd than anything else. I think it was more to do with the fans in the stadium who were trying to lift the team and to generate an atmosphere. Hoyland might as well not play. If I was Hoyland, I would ask to go on holiday right now. I swear to God. If I was one of the coaching staff, I would just say, Hoyland, give your money weekly to your wages to the people who've been laid off, and just go on holiday because you're not in it. You can't fake it. Your brain's not in it. Your brain's not in this football game. 18-year-old comes on, looks 10 times better. How can an 18-year-old who's hell of a nervous come on a football pitch and have better movement than you, and who can link up the play and show touches? After that, Fulham then took over. We had a bit of a spell. We scored. We had a bit of a spell, 10-minute spell. Yeah. And then Fulham took over again. They created bigger chances. They were better on the ball than us. They were trying to get the winner. Onana then came into the game a bit, started making saves. But the big difference is that they can make 5 substitutes, while we made 4 substitutes and players that he doesn't want to use. And 2 of them were 2 18-year-olds. So that's the difference. And we could have made 2 more substitutes, but unfortunately, they're not at this football club. And the guy we bought in got himself a red card the other week when we were there on Wednesday, and he's not available.
It's and pretty thin on the youngsters, ground, isn't it?
Just to give context, the majority of the youngsters played last night or the night before. I think it was last night or Friday night they played, the youngsters, against Arsenal in the FA Youth Cup. So, yeah, it's crazy. Big up to Khalees from Milidas, Chief Editor of United Real Therapy. Please make sure you guys are liking the video and subscribing to the channel. You're gonna get real raw reaction on here. No over sugarcoating. And this is Chido Obi, who Bombaye, none of our players want to pass to. Garnacho does not want to pass to him. Casemiro did not want to pass to him. Bruno did maybe one pass to him. Masraoui did not want to pass to him. The lot does not want to pass to him. Nobody wanted to pass to him.
They had a Fulham shirt.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying to you. So it looked like he could have played, and it took him way long time to think this kid can play actually. So it was shocking. He made brilliant runs. Garnacho, greedy decision making, back to helter skelter. We had it for a month and a half. He was good, where his decision making was good. After that, he was being a pile of fucking shite. But like the videos, guys. If you are a bootlicker, do not like the video. If you're not a bootlicker and you're Ineos out, like the video. To me, this loss is 100% on Ineos. Now, where is on the manager is that why is he taking the best centre-half in the game, the most energetic centre-half in the game, the better guy out of Maguire, more mobile, more physicality, more can carry the ball carrier out of the 3 centre-halves? Why are you taking him off to bring on a has-been of a footballer who's called Lindelof? Why are you doing that? Somebody please fucking explain that to me. I do not know. I'm still thinking about it. What
Talking
name?
about Euro, Nuruddin.
Unless, unless Yoro had a knock. Did anybody come out? Yoro, one of the reasons why I took Yoro off. Please find out for me, Khalees, and the people in the chat. But
Could
Bombay,
it
go
be?
ahead. So for me, that substitution was the most baffling because he's the fittest out of all of them. He's the quickest and the most physical, and he's the better ball carrier than Maguire and the late. Why are you taking him off to bring on a slow guy who's got full of mistakes, who's horrendous, who's not played for a long, long time? I don't get it. Ben, I've sent you the link if you want to jump on. But people, please find that out for me. Big up to everybody. Love and light. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. We're shadow banned, but we don't give a damn. Free Lebanon, free Palestine, free Ugadan, free the Congo, free Sudan, free the people, free them all. Free the Manchester Tell. Fuck Zionism. We keep it 100% on this channel. Go ahead, Bombay. That's what my analysis of the game is and was. I don't think tactic wise, we in the second half and even in the second half, we played a low block. Everybody was getting out behind the ball. So the shape, in terms of the shape, there weren't massive gaps. It was not massive gaps. And after we scored, after 15, 10 minutes after we scored, we defended through extra time. We had a couple of counter attacks. So we played on a counter. We played a bit more compact, the way the players wanted to play. That's what I saw. But go ahead, Bombay.
When they asked the question, she's asking me, do you think that Amorim is the guy before the guy? And if so, why buy him players? So just to answer that, I think, Wendy, it's a fair observation, but do you not feel that your question um, is a question that we've been asking ourselves since David Moyes? We felt that he should have been the guy after the guy, and then this is the guy before the guy, and Ollie was the guy before Ten Hag. And I don't know is the answer to that question, but to find out if Amorim is the guy, we have, as usual, a split decision, which is fair. There are many people, whenever a manager is in the limelight and we're debating that manager, that will say, like, for example, Ten Hag, our last general. Nuruddin was saying, listen, this, I want to cut my losses. I know he's not the guy. Fair enough. I was saying, no, I want him to get the injuries back, get a few more players, and then have a good run of games to show me that he is the guy. So, Amarim, I'm at that crossroads. We have now fans. If you go on to any post match interview, you'll see in the comments there's a big division. Many are saying Amarim is clueless, he's definitely out of his depth. And then there's my position on it, which is it is plausible that he is out of his depths and he very well may be the wrong appointment. However, taken into account he comes in mid-season, the obvious glaring need for a couple of players who are more suited in certain positions to play this game makes me want to give him the summer transfer, which will also allow us to gauge Ineos. And then I want to see him have a run of games, 10, 15 games. And if we're seeing signs that we like and there's something to get behind, I'm all for it. We'll all be for it. That's eventually, ultimately, that's what we want. But if we don't, then the voice of he's not the guy, it gets louder. So my honest answer is I don't know if this is the guy before the guy because I've been waiting for the guy for 12 years and maybe 7, 8, 9 managers later, I'm still waiting for the guy, Wendy. So that's my answer to that. Bro, with regards, I don't know what you asking me, Dino. What you asking me, bro? You asking me about Yoro? I don't know. Maybe you took Yoro off, bro. He's thinking, give the kid a break. Played Friday. Let's give Lindelof a little run out. We have to try and sell him. We're gonna have to showcase him somehow. You know, this is maybe the wrong game, the wrong time, but maybe that's it. But other than that, Chido, he looked all right. I liked him. I liked just his body language. He wasn't afraid. He felt like he wanted to force the issue. He wasn't afraid to take the chances and apply himself. So it felt natural to me watching that young man come into this side, and I'd like to see a little bit more of it because End of the day, Hoyland is not pulling his weight. Maybe this is as good as it gets. I think there's a major issue of confidence, stuck in the rut, stuck in the mud. Maybe you need to take a step back, take some advice from people around you who can give you some pointers, work on those things, and then come back into the game. And bring Chido in. Maybe Chido comes in, has a few, has a good half, a good game. Again, competition for Hoyland. Maybe that is what he needs. Light a flame. That might help him because right now he's the only striker, isn't he? Really, at the club now we're using Xerxes as a 10, which is not a bad shout. I think that's he's a better natural fit for his set of skills. So yeah, I was happy to see Obi, and he did well.
We saved big up Mr. Dan United. We saved the football club by banishing the bootlickers first. Traitors need to fuck off. And then we do walkouts or sit-ins in the middle of the football pitch. Thousands of they can't get all the police, all the horses they want. If you go on the pitch and sit down, that's the only way we're gonna try to get these.
Did you go tonight?
No, I didn't. Big up to Ben. Ben, Free Ireland. Big up to you. Free Palestine, Free Lebanon. Big up to you, Ben. But that's what we have to do, Dan. We have to do drastic action, drastic measures. Civil disobedience is the only way to try to get rid of these vultures. Go ahead, Ben. Listen, there's 290 of you in here. Please smash a like on the video. It costs you absolutely nothing. If you're Ineos out, smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. If you're Ineos in, do not like the video and do not subscribe. Go ahead, Ben. Talk to me.
Top of the morning, Jay. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good, bro. I'm all good. First of all, pick up everyone. Smash the likes up, people, and subscribe. Let's get near into 20k. First things first as well. Happy Ramadan to everyone. To all the Muslims out there.
Thank you.
And yeah. So the game, just.
Say no more, Ben. That's it. That's your take right there. Dino, let's move on.
I mean, do you know what? People might, be like say, Onana had a good game because he saved a lot of crucial saves. But no, his positioning for the first goal is ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Why is he in the middle of the net when he knows the only way the who was it that's headered it? Bassi can header it is the left. Like he only header the left because who was it blocking? Mazraoui. He was blocking the right. So why is he more leaning towards the left of his goal than the right? It doesn't make any sense. This guy should not. But I can't believe this guy's at our football club. It's mental. And we've had a lot of quite a few bad keepers in the past. Like I didn't really like Roy Carroll. I was not a big fan of Roy Carroll. Like a lot of people might be different about it, but I wasn't a big fan of Roy Carroll. But he's literally the worst. He's the reason why we're in this mess. He's just he's just terrible, absolutely terrible. And like even when the ball came into the box, I said to my friends, I was like, this is gonna go in. I just know this is gonna go in because first things first, he's not coming out of the box. He's just being stable. He never comes out of the box, and that's a big red flag for a keeper. But I blame the whole the first goal on Onana. I don't think Mazraoui could have done anything better. Although you can then say about the system and how we were structured in that corner because Bassi was literally left by himself. You don't do that. Bassi's a defender, like he's a centre back. So why is he getting left by himself? See this whole zonal marking shit? It just pisses me off. Why can we not just do, some zonal marking and then some just man for man? It doesn't make any sense. What is Amarim doing? What is Diego Fernandez or whatever you call him, Diego Carlos? I don't know what you call him, the assistant manager. Like, what's he doing? Like, can we just change up and?
I don't know what any of them are fucking doing, Ben.
Because it's Sunday League. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it. Why take off Yoro, who's our most competitive, the fastest player on the ball and centre halves, the one who carries the ball, the one who plays with a lot of urgency, winning these duels in the air. Why take him off for absolute Lindelof?
Exactly. It should have been Maguire.
Collect money.
Yep. It should have been Maguire, and I would have been happy with the substitution if he would have took Maguire off and put Lindelof or De Ligt in the central centre back, because the thing is with the Lindelof is he's actually good with the ball, so he can actually like get the ball moving from the back. So I was completely shocked when he took Yoro off. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? I can see why he took Ugarte off, because he had he had a booking and he wanted to like. I know obviously Bruno and Ericsson is literally like it's a disaster of a midfield pivot, like, but you could see he wanted to go for it. He wanted to go for the game because we're still 1-0 down. But now, I just did not understand that substitution. I was completely shocked. But I thought Obi came on and was a bright spark to us. You can tell he just he was he's a monster at times. He actually wants to like see when he loses the ball. He just wants to get back in there. Whereas Hoyland, you don't see that with Hoyland. You just don't. And there's a lot of bad touches from Hoyland yet again, and like Xerxes didn't really have a good game. Bless Xerxes, at the end of the day, anyone can lose, penalties, and I'm not going to blame the whole thing on Xerxes or Lindelof, even though Lindelof, he should have been gone the years and years ago. I don't know why he's still here, but I can't blame it on Lindelof. I can't blame it on Xerxes at the end of the day. It's penalties, these things happen, but I thought credit. I will give credit to Bombay's boy Bruno. I think Bruno did well today. Good finish, solid finish with his weak foot. But apart from that, like it's just the biggest issue as well. Like I can't fault the players for trying. Like you can tell all of them are trying. It's just the quality and the physicality. It's just mental. Like I can't believe what I'm witnessing. Even my father, and he's a Leeds man, and I can't. My dad is he just takes some Mickeys like this. So you just keep singing at Old Trafford, Leeds are falling apart again, and he was like this, United are falling apart again. And I'm like, Dad, I actually want us to be relegated so the fucking Glazers can go and any host can go. And it's completely embarrassing, like
we want to fall apart. We want to fall apart
again.
Big up, Dad. Big up, Dad.
Oh, big up, Dad. Honestly, but
big up your dad.
Yeah, always, bro. But now, like I said, man, like I don't know where we go from here. Like the club's already rotten, and I said to Dad and my dad as well. I said, he's like, I said, what is the issue? And he's like, I said, at the end of the day, I don't think anyone, even a top class coach, can save this club unless you get the vultures out. If you get the vultures out, you can start fresh, start a new chapter at the end. But see if Pep Guardiola came in the next morning, I still wouldn't be confident at all, because to be a successful football club, on and off the pitch, the culture has to be spot on. And right now, the culture is a filthy fucking mess. And at the end of the day, we will not win a Premier League, we will not win a Champions League, we will not win anything unless we get rid of them. And I will die by that, because I've been Ineos out since day fucking one, because I wanted the Qataris, I wanted them, and see all these boys that were Ineos lickers and all them ones, like this is on you. You took the bait, and now Dodgy Dave is just he's just being a dodgy man, like at the end of the day. But no, that's it. But to end my response, anyways, free Palestine, fuck Zionism, and big up the Green Brigade as always, bro.
Big up the Green Brigade indeed. Smash the likes, people. This is the Ineos Free Zone. If you're a bootlicker, don't bother. But there's over 300 of you in here. Please subscribe to the channel. We are shadow banned. We keep it real, raw. It's Ramadan. We should be doing other things, but we're here. We're live with you guys. So the least you could do is like the video, because we could be resting. We've been fasting all day. We could be resting and chilling out now and just spending quiet time. But instead, we're here to talk about how crap that was, Manchester United. Bombaye. Yeah. We got who we got next? We've got a
Arsenal.
No. We've got Real Sociedad away.
All right.
On Thursday.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. So where do you think we're going to be with that one?
Well, it don't really matter if you got Kidderminster Harriers at this point. It's one. There will be no consistency found, I think, this season. Amarim's trying to put fires out all over the place, but he's not finding solutions that are going to remedy the overall play of Man United. This is the season how it's going to be. Sociedad, you know, these Spanish teams are technical. They keep the ball well usually. I don't know what they're like. I think David Silva plays for Sociedad. So I don't know what to tell you. It's a massive, massive game. This. All our eggs are in this basket now. He knows that. You know, I would like to go for the Europa League. I think whether you're in or out at this point, you know, it's only one more cup, bro. So let's really try and go for it and see if this team can, you know, slowly make inroads into the latter stages of this competition. There's not a lot of great teams in there, I have to be honest. Ordinarily, I think maybe we should be one of the, you know, favorites for it, but the way that we play and the way we're being deployed is not doing us any favors. So I want to go and try and win that game, bro. I really do. Whether we will or not, I have no idea. From me personally, from week to week, I'm not sure what I'm gonna see, but I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be too entertaining. I don't watch United anymore. Um, it's just an anxious experience, an apprehensive experience. I never walk out of a game thinking, "Man, bloody, I enjoyed that. I'm so glad I tuned in." That's not happened for quite a while. But I'm killing time watching Man United nowadays. That's the honest truth, bro.
Big up to you, Bombay. Big up Marcus Dammutson. He says, I'm still Ineos, saying I think it's ludicrous, so we can't be patient when it's clear there is a significant change needed at the club. So what are the changes they made? You tell me one positive change they made at this football club. What are you? I'm sorry, this is the next level of bootlicking, and there's levels to the bootlicking. But what clear? They've come and sank the club even further. Manchester United don't get Champions League next season with 50 million
just
down.
wait. That's it.
50 million pounds down. So what money is Amarin gonna get to go and buy players? Unless selling the likes of Kobe Mainu or getting rid of players, players that maybe other teams might want. Big up to Luwani.
Hey, big up my brothers. How are you guys doing?
We're doing well. Talk to us. How are you? How did you see the game?
What? Oh, how do I see the game? What is there to see, Nuruddin?
I can see the blue skies in the background.
Oh, I just went out with my daughter. She's taking her driving test tomorrow, so working on her parallel parking. At least that provide me on some kind of entertainment, you know. As for the game, when the game started, I started looking at Ericsson, the area in which Ericsson was picking up the ball, the first 10-15 minutes. I thought, oh, that's interesting. You know, I was like, that's interesting. For once we have a true somebody that a footballer in the number 10 position rather than the regular road runners. So Ericsson was picking up the ball. We were able to play on the left side a little bit, even though the right side was completely dead with Mazarawi and Delete over there and Ugarte. It's almost like that side is non-existent. We don't even use that side at all. So
that's usually the side where Ahmad used to be on. Now Ahmad
yes. So this made me. We close for business on that side, right? So I see Ericsson picking up the ball. The first 10-15 minutes, it was okay. And then Fulham figured that out. And they locked that area up, that corridor that Ericsson used, they lock it up. And that was it. We become like the regular side to side. Bruno drop down and try to hoof the ball. And that's all we were doing all game. But it just surprised me how we tried to play. The journalist was saying we try to play out of the back. The ball go to the center back, to the lateral center backs. It goes to the wing back, and then we got stuck. We don't know where to go from there. We have to come back and then hoof the ball. But paradoxically, when Fulham is playing, stay comfortable. They split their center back, drop the goalkeeper and the player from the back easily. They play through the middle easily. It's just jarring watching. And now I'm confused because I don't know if the problem is the system that's swallowing up the players and their creativity,
No,
or
they can't play
the
football.
fact that our DM are just not fit for purpose.
No, they're
Because
not.
I'm
We don't
looking
have
at Fulham.
we don't have a DM that's comfortable on the ball, that can carry the ball
Okay.
and turn. That's why Ericsson had to drop from all the way number 10 position, drop to halfway line, make the angle for the ball, and actually get us playing. The first 10 minutes was good.
It's
In that first half,
horrible.
that
Man.
was the only thing was good the first 10 minutes. After that, we
Yeah.
sank back. They scored in the last minute. For 20 minutes in the second half, we were dreadful. Did nothing. We scored. We were good for 15 minutes. And all throughout the rest of the half and halftime, we were playing low block FC, back to counter-attacking football, where we just kept moving the ball. And then saying Bruno had a good game. Bruno scored a good goal.
No.
But
Let's be honest. Yeah. Go ahead, Ben.
But his off the ball is still bad. He kept hoofing, as Oluwani kept saying, like every time when he got on the ball, he kept hoofing it. So Ian, when I say a good game, I mean average. I still fucking hate him. I still want him gone. I still want this guy gone. Sorry, Bombay. Sorry.
Ben, let me. That's what I want to come up to, right? Right before Bruno scored the goal, I was asking myself a question. I was like, okay, is this where we are right now? Bruno dropped down and started hoofing the ball. That's why he was having one of those bad games. And then I was saying to myself, he's going to score right now. And then they're going to tell me he's man of the match. And that's exactly what happened. He scored. Our attack is shit. Our attack is really, really bad. And the only way we attack is Bruno just hoofing the ball. And is that why we become? Like Bruno hoofing the ball, Garnacho taking on his man on the left hand side. That's why we become. Come on, guys. We need to do better than that. We need to do better. We need more players like Xerxes dropping in the middle, trying to play football. But it looked like it's only him. And why is Rasmus still starting games? Why? Because Chido came in from for his cameo. He gave us more than Rasmus. I'm advocating for Chido to start, to a certain extent, because at least he looked like a goal threat. He looked like a goal threat, and it's a sorry state of affair, because even if Ahmad come back, it still doesn't make us less predictable. It's going to be Ahmad and Inshallah, or either Ahmad Garnacho. So I don't know if Amorim can change this in a way or another, but it's pathetic to watch. I was more impressed by Fulham because of the way. You know what's funny? These Fulham guys, they're able to move the ball at ease. They do switch of plays without having any midfielder that will do like the long ball switch. Nope, they just play small ball in one zone. They attract us into that zone, and then they play the ball out of that zone easily with 1, 2, 3 passes there on the other side. And it's something that you can tell is coach. It's not due to individual players. When you have like individual players that can switch balls, like Pogba, and that have long range passing. You can't even say that they have that. They just play normal football, small ball, attract everybody to one zone, and then 1, 2, 3 pass, they're gone. They're on the other side. The only thing, if we have won that game today, we are just paper over the crack, and we'll be here talking about, it's a cup game. We scumbag it. Yeah, we move on to the next. But the God of football don't work like that. Eventually we're gonna have to pay for our sin, and that's what's happening. And it's a sad state of affair. We can't keep getting away with stuff like that.
Listen, we did the preview the other day, me and Saeed, and we said both of us that they were gonna. So I'm not angry or getting knocked out. And as far as actually, the players showed a bit of fight, taking it to extra time and penalties. If I'm being all fair, because I thought we could have got smashed. But I'm still, to me, Khalees, can you check for me? the Lenny Yoro was tactical. Is that right? Did the Amarin say the Lenny Yoro substitution for Victor Lindelof was a tactical? Because we're in deeper problem if that was a fucking tactical decision.
Bro, that guy's
Honestly,
in Mars.
kid,
That's the case.
please find out for me, please. And people, please, there's over 300 of you, 330 in here. Please smash a like on the video. It costs you nothing. But if you are Ineos out, please smash the like in. If you're not Ineos out, then don't like the video. No problem. Be a bootlicker.
Nurdin, I hope it's not tactical. Otherwise, I don't know what kind of game he's watching on the sideline.
That's what
hope he's
Alien
not
Tenno said
tactical.
to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I mean, just the point to say to you guys is that whether it was the Glazers or Ineos, both of them working together now, Glazers bought Ten Hag, who needed specific players to play his football, specific type of. He's one of the most. He demands so much of players in terms of space to cover, at the most physical and difficult league in world football. Right? He coached at Ajax. Then we doubled down and got another coach who needs specific type of roles, players to a level of physicality and a level of technical ability to play the system. We get him in, and then we get rid of 3 players and only bring one of them in. While we've got major injuries as well, like, you know, guys who are never going to be fit. To me, Luke Shaw, Mason Mount, they're not footballers. They're people who work for Ineos and the Glazers, but they're not footballers. I don't know what the fuck they do, but they're not footballers.
Come on.
No, they're not.
They work at McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. Bombay, you need to calm down. Calma, Habibi. What's the last time Luke Shaw played for Manchester United?
Luke Shaw, I say I don't say
maybe one or two games in a year.
Mason
One or
Mount,
two
bro.
games in a year. Mason Mount, since he signed for Manchester United, has not played 10 games.
I know
Has
that,
not
but
started
he's
10 games.
injured. He's say he works for Ineos. No good.
Bombay, how come I knew he was injury prone, guy? How come I know this kid has got hip problems that's going to cost him more injuries? How come I know that? And I'm a guy who lives in South Central Manchester. How come I know that? It's not my job.
Yeah, but
I know that
killing
more
the
than
guy. He's injured. He wants to play.
No, I'm not killing the guy. We spent wasteful money on the guy who's broken, who was injured for a whole year at Chelsea. Save it for somebody who wants to listen, Bombay. I don't want to get into you with you, seriously. Okay. This is the hill that you don't want to die on. I promise you, Habibi. You don't want to have this fight. You do not. You're talking about guys who are robbing a living, who are stealing a living, mate. They're robbing a living. Let's not talk about that. So I don't count them, but we let 3 players go, especially 2 attacking options. And look what happened. Ben, talk to me.
Talk to you about what side you coming there.
No, what I'm saying to you is that where do we go from here? That the manager needs more specific type of players to play, and then he is then given 2 less attacking players. So how does he make something of the season? How?
Play the youth. That's it. I don't like in the Real Sociedad. Like I generally like. Sounds so awful for me to say, but I actually hope we're right. I actually hope Real Sociedad win, because just it hurts the Glazers' pockets, hurts Ineos' pockets, hurts Man United's pockets, and at the end of the day, you know, I've always said, you know, people can obviously argue the fact that, you know, he's had a few weeks of training now, you know, what are you talking about and all that stuff, but I've always had like the feeling that we're coming close to the end of season. If he's out of the Europa League, you know, he has plenty of time now on the pitch. One full week of training each week. There'll be no more excuses going from here to the end of the season to then the beginning of the season. That's how I see it. And then I will then judge Amram in the first 6 games of next season. That's how I'm going to be judging him. But for now, play the youth. Just play the youth. I thought that, what do you call him? This left centre back kid. Heaven, is it Heaven? Yeah, I thought there's he came on and lifted the crowd a wee bit, like, because I think he actually controlled you know, the first phase of our play at times, because there was like, I think there was one turn he made and he actually turned on Jimenez, and you know, actually lifted the crowd a lot, because it's good to see, obviously, a brand new player that we've never heard of come into the first team, and that was a solid performance from him, so there is like positives to take from, even though it was, we're out, but there still is positives. But for now, where do we go from here? People can say go for the Europa League, because to get in the Champions League. But no, I don't want Champions League. Why do we want to go for the Europa League? We don't deserve Champions League. We got a keeper that just keeps saving into his own bloody net. Remember the fucking Galatasaray game? He freaking saved the ball and put it in his own net. Why do we want Champions League? Get out of the Europa League. Get out of the Europa League. Just hurts. It hurts the Glazers. People say it doesn't hurt the Glazers' pockets, but fucking believe you me, it fucking does. It hurts the Glazers' pockets, hurts the rat. And at the end of the day, I just want us out of European competitions. And even though I'm pissed off today, but I'm sort of happy to a certain extent that we're not, that he's not getting any money, and it's going to hurt him even more, them two, the Glazers and Ineos. But with the whole players situation, Amarim wants his own players and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, he's only signed one player, and that's Dorgu. He's never worked with Dorgu before. So I do think, there was a comment earlier on, I don't know who it was, Ineos have made a difference and all that shit. They have made shit. The only argument you could probably make they've made a difference is, they're going with players that, towards Ten Hag's final season, they went with players that club signings, for example, a Yoro, an Ugarte, Ten Hag didn't want Ugarte because they were planning for Ruben Amorim, but Ten Hag didn't want Yoro either. He didn't. He even said it himself. He did not. Yoro was not on his on his radar. So that's the only argument I can give. But at the end of the day, they're still useless bastards, Ineos. But that's the only argument I can really see for any of those Ineos twerkers is that we had a successful transfer market and all that stuff. But see with Dorgu, I've already seen enough from Dorgu that this guy is, the one to keep an eye on in the future, because he does look a very solid player. And the fact that he hasn't worked with Amarim is a positive. And that's maybe saying to myself that Amarim is not wanting players like a Gyökeres, like a Quenda, that Norwegian or Denmark Danish centre back from Sporting. Maybe he's not wanting them. Maybe he's wanting players that he's never coached before, but he just likes how they play football. Likes how they they play in the system. But I just think, at the end of the day, Luani was spot on earlier. He doesn't know if the players, don't get the system, or whether it's just, it's the system's just not working. But it's number one. Players just do not understand. They're so confused on where they want, where they have to be, if that makes sense. They're confused at times. And I know what you can say, that's down to the coach, because, the coach tells you where you need to be and all that stuff. But, bro, I play Sunday League football, right? That's the lowest fucking league ever. And we play a 3-5-2. And we swapped systems before. We played 4-2-2-2. We played 5-1-2-1-2. And see the 3-5-2, 3-4. It's fucking simple. And I'm a wing back. It's fucking simple. When they have the ball, the wing backs need to fucking push up, not stay back, but towards the defense. Because they're not just making you play too defensively. You're meant to be pushing up. And that's what I'm really fucked off of Amarim, because he's not. This is not a 3-4-3 system, as you just said, Luani, many times. It's not a 3-4-3 system. It's 5-3 or 5-4, whatever you want to fucking call it. We're playing 5 at the back, and he's just he's hunging himself out to dry, and it's so hard to
Ben, today, for example, my issue is that my worry about this manager is whether he gets money in the summer or not, is the way he sees the game, the way he sees the Premier League. If he believes that...
Can I just ask you a question, please, Luani? Do you not think today, especially in the second half and through extra time, that we set up with a low block, mid to low block? We got the ball behind the ball. There wasn't many gaps between us. We let them have the ball. They were opening us up because they're a very good team.
Yes.
But I don't think it was gaps as we saw in the games in the past games. No, do you not think?
Yeah, compare to the other game, I'll say Fulham moved the ball around better than Everton. Actually, they moved the ball around. Their only issue is their final third pass, because Iwobi was wasteful at the time, and Jimenez didn't really get into the game. But what I'm worried about in general is that in the future, whether he gets money or not, is the way he sees the game of football and the ways he sees the Premier League. See, the Premier League, we all say, yeah, the Premier League is a physical league. But the reality is that if you bring in a physical team into the Premier League, the playing field is level. But in order to have the edge, you need players that are physical and technical. That's the reason why City is able to win, to be so much to have so much success in the Premier League, and I think you have to have a degree of technicality in order to be successful. Because if you just physical, everything can match you. Even the team that just come from the championship, they can match you. But the way I'm looking at Amorim right now is that he almost like he favor physical players rather than technical players, given his current lineup. And that, I think, is going to be a problem in the future, even if he gets money, because it's a fine balance. As you as a manager have to find between the ability of your players and your tactic. If your tactic is supposed to simplify the game for them. The way we see Fulham, they were not doing anything complex today. But we figure out that when they are midfield, when they are 10 drop into their midfield, or their midfield get the ball, the passing options are there. They simplify, and that still allow them to drop the shoulder and carry the ball if they want to, or to pass the ball if they want to. At the point, they're playing small ball with us, small ball, and the ability of their midfielders are there to see. The issue with us is that Ugarte and Bruno in that midfield, I don't see them in close tight space. I don't see them being able to drop the shoulder, put a little dribble in just to open the passing lane. It's just too simple. It's just one, two pass, square pass here and there.
It's the level
Ericsson
of
to as a
quality of players that we have.
is bad, but
Yeah.
yet the coach is the one. Ugarte is his man. He just brought him in. So if he's bringing in more profile players like Ugarte or pacey wingers,
But he played with a
I
lot of
don't think
listen.
that is gonna fix the problem. I
But
don't think it's gonna fix the problem.
Luani, he played with a bit more technical footballers. He played wingers as wing backs and Spartan. He played proper number 10s. He played with 2 number 8s that can get around the football pitch.
I swear to God, Nuruddin. I swear to God, Nuruddin.
Let me just finish. He played with younger centre halves who are quick and squeeze to play, who've got a really good recovery. All the organisation he did, he left, and then they hired 3 managers, Sporting. I don't know if you've been keeping in touch, and they've sacked 3 managers after him since he's been there. But Crypto Mix says here, Nuruddin, yeah, brother, I have a question. What manager had this type of start? What are you backing with money exactly? I'm not, listen, I did not want Ruben Amorim, because I said, get Areola or De Zerbi. Get coaches who've coached in the Premier League, who are not going to be a shock to the system, right? I said the experiment of hiring from mid kind of leagues in Europe, hiring a guy who's never played in the Premier League, never, coached in the Premier League before, who likes specific type of players, who got specific kind of system. I said, get Areola or De Zerbi, lay down the fundamentals of modern football, get them to improve players that we have at the football club, right? Then you bring on the next guy to take us up to challenging. That's what my intention was with way Ineos were coming in on their football structure. And if you believe the hype, I never really believed it, but I hope for it, because I'm not a sadist. I'm not thinking I want everything to be horrendous. So I'm not masochist, sorry. So at the end of the day, what it is what it is. Manchester United have hired this coach. He was not in my top 1, top 2, top 3, top 4. Everything from this guy that he was all sold up with him with Liverpool in the summer, if you believe Crypto Minks. At the end of the day, it's their guy to back him. They brought him in for a reason. They have to back him. They have to sack him or back him. Simple as that. And I don't think they've got the money to sack him. But go ahead, Luwani. I didn't want to cut you off, bro. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Listen,
you know my issue.
Yeah. We know
You
the
know
players
my
that we have are horrendous, bro. We
Mhm.
know that already. We were doing the same BS under Eric Ten Hag. And Eric Ten Hag actually profiled some of these players.
Yeah, but Nurdin, to what extent are we gonna accuse the players? I'm looking at two players in particular, Ugarte and Bruno. That's my problem right there, right? You telling me across the whole 22-man squad plus academy squad, you telling me that you can find me a midfielder that can take the ball on a half turn? That I wouldn't believe that, you know. You watch the youth. You telling me Toby Collier, he was riding the bench when Ugarte is playing. That doesn't make sense. If the guy, my problem is the misprofiling of Amorim. If the guy cannot play that position, why are you trying to make him play that position, knowing very well that in your system, that position is very, very, very important? That's my issue with him. Misprofiling is his number one mistake he's making. Help yourself a little bit. Help yourself. It doesn't matter. He need to stop with the big name thing. Okay, don't play the name, play the abilities. That's all I ask. Play the abilities so we can at least see.
Luwani, he had two goalkeepers on the bench today. Because the youth team played on Friday night away at Arsenal in the Youth Cup. If I'm not mistaken, Ben, they played Friday night, didn't they?
Yeah,
but I heard people say a lot of good thing about the youth team. And he can promote a couple of midfielder, you know, that can play well in the first phase of play. Bring them in the first team, have them train all week, and try to see what they do differently. Ugarte is just way too limited. I'm looking at him today, 5-yard pass. That's all he does. He can carry the ball to save his life. And we can be doing that. We're not going to win a lot of game in the Premier League playing like that. It's too predictable. It's Bruno drop back hoof ball all the time. I'm not seeing anything. Even the journalists were saying it today. They said no, this is slow, ponderous, and once it always take a team 10 to 15 minutes to figure us out. Once they figure us out, we are done. The whole game is just gonna look the same. Bruno hoofing ball. Garnacho, and the substitution are also predictable. If we're tired of Bruno hoofing the ball, Garnacho is going to come in, try to take on his men, and let's see if we can have success from there. And that's about it. Football is not like that, man. I don't know what's going on, but Amorim need to figure his stuff out. He need to find the right balance. The right balance between the profile and the big name. If the big name does not fit the position, the profile that need to play that position, drop them on the bench. He need to find the right balance between his tactic and the flair, the instinct, the natural instinct of the players. Okay, it doesn't matter if you choose the right player, the right profile to play the position. You still have to have the system simplify the game enough for them so their natural ability can be on display for everybody to see. You see, so it's something he's gonna have to figure out.
Yeah, big up. For me, Ineos bought this guy for the reason. And by the way, the revisionist historians, Ten Hag was playing shit football as well. So let's not get twisted that we were playing some amazing
I'll tell you something. The only difference between Ten Hag and Amorim is because Ten Hag is luckier. Ten Hag is luckier. He was getting more wins, combagging more wins, and Amorim is not lucky. Otherwise, we will be here sitting talking about we scumbagging wins, even though the football is not good. It's just worrying that every single team that show up at Old Trafford is honestly, we can all see with our eyes, playing us off the park. It's not even a joke.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ben. You wanted to say something. Bumbaye, you wanted to come in?
Oh, go on, Bumbaye. No, I just said facts about Luwani's comment about Ten Hag and Ruben Amorim. But go on, Bumbaye.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? That's the question. Let me just get to some of the questions that some people ask. 1 second, Bumbaye. Maybe you can answer some of them. Let me see some of the questions. Is there a question? This is it. More people will lose their jobs than losing it at the moment. They've sacked over 400 people, Windy. Go ahead, Bumbaye. I think majority of people already think they're going to lose their jobs anyway. So they're not bothered. I spoke to a couple of people in Manchester. They're like, I know most likely I'm going to be next, so I've already started looking for other jobs.
There isn't a lot of variation in this discussion. There's a lot of hypothetical things. There's a lot of things we can pose um, to test theories. For example, like Ruben Amorim now, this is also a finding out period for Ruben Amorim. If we are going to reach the summer with him involved, there's going to be quite a few changes. We're not going to be signing, I think, marquee signings, but at least we need to get the right signings. You don't always have to spend massive amounts of money. We're not expecting to win the league next year or win. We, more than anything, I think we all agree, we want to see a real substantive improvement on a more consistent basis to feel that we are going somewhere and be able to identify exactly what we need in terms of player, where, which position on the pitch is deficient, and start to really know our team, know what we're trying to do, and get behind it and believe in it. Unfortunately, this season will continue like this. Amarim has said this, we are in survival mode now. It's about picking up some points, getting to the end of the season, taking stock, bringing some new players in, and then we go. Ben wants to give 5 games, 6 games. That's fair. I want to see more. Want to give more. I'm looking, like 10, 15 games to see what am I seeing? What am I getting? If we get to the 15th game and it's like this, then you kind of say, well, we've had a preseason. We've got some new players in with them. Hopefully we get them early. What are we doing here? The thing with Rubes, if Ruben Amorim is a one-dimensional manager who believes exclusively in playing exactly this formation, then the footballing people that we have brought in,
We
they're going
bought
to
him
have
for that reason, to play that football, Bumbaye. We have.
Yeah, I understand that. The people that are there that are footballing guys now, they have to have some input into this and have a bit of foresight. Wendy, going back to Wendy's point, if we're going to give Amorim the money from the player sales of Rashford and Casemiro and Lindelof and maybe Garnacho and whoever else, and say to him, here you go, here's 120, 150 million, whatever we raise, to go and buy 5 players, let's say. You are basically there saying that we have faith that this system is viable in English football. And we're going to give you the money to go and do it. Now, if it falls apart, are you going to go and get another manager that plays the same way as this for continuity's sake? Or are we going to be back to the very first square where, okay, tear it down, now go and get this guy his players for his system? And this is all going back to Ralph Ranick, who said, look, it's pretty much 3 things. It's how do you want to play? Get the manager that knows how to do that and get the players that play that way. And you're choosing these things on the basis of the value of entertainment that you want to give to your fans, a type of football that is in line with the ethos and vision of how you want to be portrayed as a football side. And the viability of that in terms of can it compete? Can it win the league? Or at least be in the conversation? Manchester United, okay, Ineos, it's early days and the jury's out. But we've had, like I say, so much turbulence. It's very difficult for a player to find some sort of stability within such a short manager turnaround. So we are unfortunately between a rock and a hard place. I don't think I have a choice really. We could sack this manager, but I think that really compounds the incompetence of this new ownership completely. So for them to sack him is not going to look good for them. it's not going to be great for the players. And then you
Yeah.
could even say it reinforces player power, but maybe they're not good enough to play this system. It's not an easy thing, to play this type of three with the inverted wing backs. It takes some doing, and not many teams on earth play that thing. It is a pretty specialist thing, man. Only Conte did it here with Chelsea, and that season he didn't have Champions League, if you remember, which helped him.
Yeah.
Nobody else really is doing this system and making any sort of gains where you sit up and think, oh, wow, this is the new wave. This is the way to go. He did it in Portugal. This is the Premier League. It's a different league. It's a different league. So I'm very conflicted, but I just feel that I can't fully gauge the ability of this manager. I recognize and concede that he may be the wrong guy. And I said that when he came in. I remember speaking about this with Sean. I said, Sean, in 6 months, we might be saying this guy's getting dashed on the scrap heap. And that was when he was fresh and he spoke really well and his enthusiasm was good. But that was doused quite quickly. So from here, I have to wait till the summer, really. I'm just going to roll with it now. There's not much that we can do. What am I analyzing? I'm not sure what I'm analyzing anymore.
Yeah.
On a weekly basis, it's deficient. It's very boring. The results are shocking. I think somebody posted earlier 27% win rate. I'm just looking for 3 points. I'm not looking anymore even for any increments in terms of wow, this style is looking nice, it's looking lovely, because unfortunately the luxury for us to do that is gone because of how desperate we are for a win. So we don't even have the I'm not even going to ask him for that now. It's kind of like Ten Hag's first season, pretty much after the World Cup. Just get points, keep getting points. Let's get top four. Now, Rubes, just get points, man. Get to the end of the year, but no, after pre-season, depending on the transfer window that we have, if they don't get him any players, what's the point? What's the point? There's no point. But if they do, which I think they're gonna have to, then we can sit here and say, right, what are you actually offering us, and make a real educated assessment of this, and either say, actually, he's doing quite well. I want to hang on at the moment. It's not perfect. Or, man, it's been 10, 15 games. This is crap. I'm sorry. This is nowhere near Man United standard. You have to be replaced. But until that, bro, I'm really caught in like a leaf in a storm. I don't know where to go, but I am in a rock and a hard place because this is awful, and it could be his fault, but I can't judge it yet because I do recognize the circumstance which he came here, the need for certain amounts of players, and that overhaul, bro. So that's my take on it, really, and that's probably going to be my take in most of our post-match, especially the pre-match ones. I'm just rolling with the punches, and we can analyze the games. Of course, we can. What went well, who played well, because it's important to do that. Because if we get to the end of the season and let's say, you know what, we're selling Xerxes, but we're keeping Ireland, then you can say, hang on a minute, wait a minute, what
Yeah.
is this? So
Yeah.
that's why it's important, because we also are not dumb. Everybody watches, we recognize what's good, what's a problem, and we hope that what we're seeing is going to be reflected in the way that we go about our business.
Facts. Now, like I said, I love the fact that you're giving him 15 games. The only reason why I'm giving him 6 games is we can all debate about the transfer window, like about the incomings, like what certain profiles he's bringing in. Is he bringing players from Sporting Lisbon? But for me, the only reason why I'm going to give him 6 games is because I'm more concerned about the outgoings. If I see, like, I know obviously he favorites, the likes of Dallo, the likes of Hoyland, the likes of Bruno, Onana, even too. Like, if I see them still in the starting lineup next season, which is a possibility, and it is a possibility that they could leave, then that's the only reason why I'm giving him 6 games, because for me it's unacceptable. Like, to have 5 or 6 players still in the starting lineup that were in the same starting lineup as last season. You know where the big problems are. So, and you have the power to get rid of the players, because Rashford was he was the star boy of Manchester, so he got rid of him. So there's no excuses for the summer for the outgoings related. For incomings, I'm actually rather confident so far. It's a good start. I think Patrick Dogu offers us a lot for the wing back.
He's done well.
He's done well, but that's why I'm giving him 6 games instead of like over 10 games. It's if he
You see, me, I'm not giving him any game. The reason why I'm not giving, no, I'll be honest.
Let me just get this. One second, Luani. Big up the mixed bag with me. Salam Nurdin, all the therapy. I mean, when you big up to me, man, all the way in New York. You need to meet up with his brother. You need to Luani. You need to meet up the mixed bag, our brother. You need to meet up with him. He used to come on the channel in the early days. Big up to him. I hope he's still in New York with his family, sending him lots of love. Big up. The mix.
So I'm not giving him any game.
We still not got 200 likes. We've had,
and the reason.
Go ahead, brother.
The reason I'm not giving him any game because you have to earn those games. If as a manager, the most important thing is your system and your profiling of player that will play in that system. That's your foundation. If your foundation is wrong, I cannot give you time. You see, that's my problem. If you take the analogy of a construction manager, it's almost like he's a construction manager that go into the job site and start assigning. He have his plumber, his electrician, and he start assigning the job of a plumber to an electrician and start assigning vice versa. You see, and that is a problem for me. I can give him money. I can give him time. The profiling. Bruno is not a 6. Every time I see Bruno in a 6, it makes me sick. Okay? Ugarte is limited in a 6. Every time I see him starting game and I see Toby Collier, I don't care if Collier is a young guy. Collier has more weapon, more ability to play in that position than Ugarte does. Every time I see that, it makes me think he doesn't know what he's doing. So even if you give him the right players, he still haven't proven that he's gonna profile them. He's gonna play them in the right position. Now,
hold it there, Luani. I just want to bring Eski in. Eski's just joined us. He's not spoken, and then we'll come back to you. Big up, Eski. How you doing, King?
Big up, bro.
Hope you got Ramadan Kareem, brother. I hope the
Ramadan
family
Kareem,
well.
man. Yeah, to you and your family. Yeah. Big up, man. Did you go today?
No, I didn't. Thank
bro,
God I didn't.
So
I was fasting, man. I just wanted to chill. I knew we were gonna get knocked out anyway, so
bro,
that's why I'm not angry. I'm not shouting. I'm not screaming. You don't see me doing that.
I've done my ranting and raving on the way home, innit? Obviously, like, I had an email thing come on my phone like last week saying, tickets available for the game. And I said, you know what? I've not gone for a while. Even though £66, whatever, I thought, right, let's just go in it. Yeah, why not? Gone there, bro. I'm still lost for words, man. I'm absolutely it's a shambles.
You got your money's worth, man. You got 102 hours worth of football.
That's good. As soon as I bought the ticket, I was just there like, wait, I'm going to be fasting that day. I've just spent £66 to try at my hardest to not go sick and just keep it calm in it and stuff. And I did well, to be fair. I just stayed strum till about 60th minute. Got some bottle of water, open fast sweet. But I play in 2 parts, yeah. Ineos, this is why I don't trust them other than Reno, right? They're all rat bastards. They've made 2 bad decisions already. One, they've decided to keep Ten Hag and then get rid of him. So that just proves they didn't trust their own decision, got rid of him. Dan Ashworth, he chased him all summer, played off a fucking Newcastle, whatever, pissed them lot off, innit, Nuruddin, and then for whatever reason got rid of him. That's 2 footballing decisions, right? Forget what's going on the pitch. These are the football people that are in charge of our footballing decisions. They've not been here a year. They've made 2 massive errors. On their own account, forget what our opinions are. The fact is they have made an error because they've got rid of those 2 people. So they backed one and got rid of him. So on the pitch today, yeah, honestly, Nuruddin, do you know what? The United fans, yeah, we're good. But do you know, against our own, like our players and that, we don't boo, we don't do this and that. This Hoyland guy, and like I said on the last show, innit, yeah, he wasn't brought in to be the main guy. He wasn't brought in to be the main guy. But I swear to God, I was shouting. His name's not Rasmus. It's useless. It's useless. Hoyland. I'm not even a bad guy like that. I don't go sick at our players in it. But I was just when he got off in it, yeah, I was just there like, mate, you've been useless. I sat just to the right of the manager's side on Sir Bobby Charlton stand in it, yeah. So I'm just sat there, bro. And these man can hear me. They can see me. I'm a tall guy, yeah. I was just there like useless today. Saw Cheeto come on, fantastic for him. He had a few good shots as well today, man. Honestly, one just whiskered to the right side of the goalie. I was just there like, oh, if he just won it in the 90 there right at the end. So on the pitch, man, I think I know they give it to Bruno today, but my man of the match was De Ligt, to be honest. I think he was everywhere, man. He was hassling. He was doing bits. I don't know what it looked like on TV, but for me, I thought De Ligt was good today. And on my brother's point there, sorry, what's your name again on the top right in the car? What's your name?
Luani.
That's Luani.
Luani.
Yeah.
With his point with
Luani.
Ugarte, the only thing I would say is, like, I hear your point, and it was a lot of that today. I think loads of players are doing backwards pass sideways and this and that. But I think that's a system thing. I think the manager wants it to be like that. We're trying to do vertical tiki-taka without the quality. So, because if you look how he plays for Uruguay, it's different. It's like the Pogba argument. When Pogba was here, he was shit. For France, all of a sudden, he's a top player. He doesn't turn it on like that. They don't do that. They look different in different systems. And that's just the thing with him today. So I do hear your criticism, and he was hooked. So maybe you do have a point because he didn't play the whole game today. So you might have a point. I don't know if the manager said he had a knock at anything, but for me, I just think it's a system thing with him. I do think he's a good player, man. He's quite tenacious, but yeah, the lit man of the match today, and I'm fully with Nuruddin, man. This Onana geezer, man. Sick of him, so sick. I've been done with him like two months ago. After that, I've not forgiven for anything. Like people were clapping, oh yeah, he's done saves today. They started making jokes. Oh, that was a good save. Oh, he's done something for once. Like that, you're meant to be doing that. The Roy Keane adage, that's your job. The other stuff you're doing, pushing balls out in stupid places, letting balls go in, no presence. He's a short man, Do you know when you watch him like on like pitch side level, he's not imposing at all. He's a short dude. The Lit towers over him. Harry Maguire towers over him. The other one who's like less intimidated than him is Martinez, but Martinez is more intimidated than the Butcher. So yeah, as soon as Ahmad got injured, our season was a write-off. Nuruddin, you just got back up. I was saying then I think the Lit was man.
No, I heard you.
What did you hear? Did you hear it for the thing? Yeah. So
I heard you. I'm getting Apple.
Yeah, no, bless. So yeah, the rest of the game, it was one of them. Do you know when I seen what do you call it, Jimenez and Willian fucking warming up? Started the show, Nuruddin. You said you pointed out the depth of the two squads in it. I'm looking to my left in it. I'm just seeing these kids. I'm like, all right, Heavens might gonna have to come on today. Lindelof's a forgotten man and he's useless and there's no point. Like he's not going to do anything today, right? Penalties miss is whatever in it. But today I'm just there like we're having to bring on Casemiro, who the manager doesn't fancy, Lindelof, who the manager doesn't fancy, because that's all we have today. Yoro got a good reception.
Ask you a question. You were at the game, obviously.
Yeah.
Was Yoro limping before he came up, or was he?
No. He walked right in front of me, and he got a good clapping off. Everyone was clapping every time we walked past. No, he looked fine, absolutely fine. I don't.
I do not know what the manager was doing there. Honestly, I don't.
Absolutely fine. I think No. My only decision, Nuruddin, why is he not started by Yinde? You've set a precedent now. If you want to be consistent, yeah, and say, oh, I'm going to stick to a principle and stick to my philosophy. Well,
he's injured. He's injured.
Oh yeah,
is he actually injured? All right, I apologize. Okay, fair play. Because all right, that's just that cleared up then.
But going back to the depth of the team that you're talking about, right? The manager is the one that choose to let go Rashford. The manager is the one that choose to let go Anthony. The manager is the one that choose to let go Malacia. He still fall on his feet. Unfortunately, that's why.
Yeah, but it's Ineos' then job to bring in replacements. If the manager says I can't deal with these players, then the board should say, right, here's replacements. That Jonathan Tell deal is a joke. He rejected us and Tottenham, and then Tottenham still somehow got him with an option to buy for 60. Where the fuck is our dealership like that?
But the manager is the one that goes on the press conference and say that he expected not to get players, so he know what he signed up for. They probably discussed that before he let the others go. He let them go, knowing that he's not getting any players. He knew that. He said that himself. Yeah.
Luani, managers have to cover for their bosses. That's what he's doing. But let me say something to you. The Rashford lot spoke and they said it was Ineos that got rid of Rashford. It wasn't Amorim. But go ahead. That's key.
Okay. So with that, like I said, Ineos again, we already don't trust them, but just factually, I can just point out to people watching and say they don't even trust them, their own decision making with Ten Hag and with Ashworth. I like Ten Hag, I wanted him to stay, but the fact of the matter is they don't trust their own decision making because they said let's keep him. Then let's get rid of him. I mean, they're probably looking at Amorim realistically to say, and about him. They probably are, because look at it, man. It is really bad. Again, I want him to stay. I'm with Bumbaye and say, look, do you know what it is with Amorim? Any manager could have walked into this situation and got this mess. Because we've battered however many managers gone by. If you don't think Oli was good enough, whatever, Mourinho, Van Gaal, Moyes, maybe not a bit good enough, but we've battered managers off, man. So
just toxic. The football club is toxic for 12 years.
No,
But,
dude,
Manchester
guys.
United brand. We're built on a brand and a fake propaganda. And now we're too toxic because everybody's getting big wages and getting paid. And now
You see,
they are ripping the soul
you
out of the
see,
football club, stripped it all the way back.
look at Anthony, look at McTominay, look at Rashford. All of these guys have left us and are involved in things. It's not even, oh, you're a bit part player. Rashford is involved in stuff. I've seen him jump. Did you watch the game the other day, Nuruddin? I've seen the brother jump. I ain't seen him jump for 3 years at United. Don't know what's going on there, swear to God. But Anthony, all right, he's a meme and whatever. I just think he is a La Liga player. I think he suits that kind of football. I think Lindelof suits that kind of football. He can piss off, and he suits that over there. It's just one of them, innit?
no, I don't really agree of that. That there's a player that belong to football is football. You know, if you play, they play in your right position. They give you the blueprint to play. They give you the runners. You play football the way you know how to play it. Anthony is playing well right now because he's probably in a system that fits him more than in a league,
Spanish
more than
system,
in a
man.
league that fit him. We
It's a
always
Spanish
say that, and
system.
then
They all play the
To
same
be
now.
fair, Luani, to be fair, when Anthony was coming on for under Amarin, he was performing a lot. Remember that? Remember that stat
yeah.
where between him and between
Ahmad.
between him and
Yellow.
Ahmad, the goal involvement was a lot.
Yeah.
You see, my issue with this manager is that you can tell me we have a 22-man squad plus the youth. You cannot tell me that 1, 2 player get injured and you want to do a patchwork. I don't want to see a patchwork. Promote somebody that play in that position. You see, the job of being the manager of Manchester United is a difficult proposition because you have the obligation to entertain the fan, and then you have the obligation of result. Now, I think managers get confused at which one comes first. Because if you're getting result to a certain extent, and you're playing bad football, the fan can only take it for so long. It might be good for the board because they're getting money for Champions League for this and that, but the fan are not gonna let you off the hook like that. You're gonna have to entertain, and the only way to entertain is they say it themselves: attack, attack, attack. If you're a manager and you playing defensive wing back instead of playing proper attacking players at that wing back position, that's on you. You are not going to, and the result, especially if the result are not going your way, you will not have time with the ball. You will not have time with the fan. What I'm saying right now is that Amorim have the power within to at least change the perception of this team. United fans don't like United. We don't like a coward team. We want to be brave. That's our ethos. I promise you, even if he's playing the youth players, if you go to the youth team and find 2 wing back that can attack, that are more profile, their profile more is to attack rather than defend like Dalo and Mazarawi, and he played them in that position, keep them high. You know, we can tolerate to a certain extent even a cricket score as much as we score goal. Right now, we are defending. We can't score any goals. We can't generate any opportunity for our strikers. And we are defending. We conceding goals. It's just counterproductive. And nobody's going to sit for that. He need to change that. At least change the perception. That's it.
Yeah, facts. I just want to comment as well. I mean, big up Esky. You've spoke a lot of facts about Ineos and stuff, but one thing you have forgotten, and obviously I've watched you in the past, Esky. You're a big fan of Bruno, like Bombay, but giving Bruno another contract was
We're in bad
a
company,
big,
Eski.
a big red flag too. Was a big red flag too, especially 300,000 a week from. I think you believe he was on 180, 190. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I think he was on 180, 190 before this. But nah, like I said, with the whole what Luani's saying, going to the youth, bringing players in and stuff, to play in the position and stuff. I see two sides of it. I think with the whole Anthony and Rashford thing, to me, I see two sides of it. I think if I'm Amarim, right, I'm like, right, okay. I know Anthony's not going to be the future of the club. I know Rashford's not going to be the future of the club. And the whole argument is obviously Ineos are saying that, right, look, you can only buy one player, right? But they don't have the money obviously to get more than one player, right? So I'm then saying, right, okay, I shouldn't really be having to get rid of Rashford and Anthony. So I should probably keep them. But then yet again, you still need to get rid of them regardless, because the like they're still there regardless. The sooner you get rid of them, the better. And I know the worst case scenario is the fact that they're on loans. Now I can see why they've sent them on loan instead of like selling them properly. Is because if Anthony does well, which he's doing really really well, and Rashford's doing well, at Aston Villa, then Ineos then get a bit of money for that, because then other teams will then say, oh, here, Anthony did well at Real Sociedad or Real Betis, and Rashford did well on Aston Villa. Here, there's 20, 30 million for Anthony. There's 50 million for Rashford. Take or leave it. So I can see why Ineos have sent them out on loan. But back to the Amr situation, Luani's 150% right. For if Dalot and Mazarawi, we know what they're capable of with the wing backs, with Bruno Ugarte in the midfield. Amram should look at the youth, the academy, and scout for more and more like players that that can play in the half turn, that can play a full back, play. But the thing is, with fullback, the wing backs, you need to be you need to be a winger. Like Anthony is like the prime example for a wing back, because I've always rated Anthony as like a right back in a way, because he has played really really well in the left back or right back role when under Ten Hag, but he does need to go to the youth academy and give them a chance, especially now. Now is the best time to go to the youth academy and bring them in and see how they play under the system. And if it doesn't work out, he doesn't work out. But at least he went to the youth academy. And this is hello, I can hear myself. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh yeah. I just heard an echo there.
You sound wonderful. Keep going.
But no, like I said, man, we've just got to. What's he got to lose now? We've only got a Europa League that I don't want to win. I want to be out of the Europa League. I just want, this till the end of the season to be about training sessions, to be about getting a few results here and there, and giving the youth a chance. And then go to the summer. Anthony and Rashford come back from the club, right? I still don't want you, Anthony and Rashford. Get the fuck out. Hoyland, you're shit. Get out. Bruno, obviously, what I have basically an agenda at the straight for Bruno. But anyways, we're not getting into that.
No, Ben, say it. Bruno, you're shit.
He's shit. He's fucking shit.
Come on.
He's shit. He is shit.
I'm getting this every week.
Big up Jarvis.
Luani, Dino, tag team.
Listen, can I just update you on a little
Jarvis as well as with them.
What made me laugh is this, yeah? I'm watching a bit of world news, and something comes across my phone, and it's the U.S., the White House, the U.S. department, Trump's department, trolling the people saying, click on here if you want to see Epstein files. And then if there, guess what they played? Never gonna give you up.
No,
never gonna.
They got you, no, they got you.
I forgot to message you. I swear to God.
They got you.
And they deleted the link. I was gonna send it to you, but they deleted the link afterwards. But the American government, Trump government, is trolling their own voters about Epstein files and whose names and all that. They were like, click on the link, and it was a song. Never gonna give you
That's bad. But,
Perfect.
no, but like I said, let me just finish up before Jarvis comes in. So he's just he's just got to go to the youth academy and find profiles that can fit in the wing backs, because I think the wing backs is the bigger issue than the midfield. And I know Luana, you might disagree to a certain extent, but I think the wing backs are more important than the midfield at this current situation we're in, because we've got no attacking fullbacks, attacking wing backs apart from Garnacho. I'd actually rather play Garnacho wing back, but he just wants to play as high up the pitch as he wants, because he's just even in the Everton game, he was actually playing more as a wing back, because he was staying out wide half the time, and then the wing back that was Dorgu, he was more freaking inverted. But he's just got to go to the youth academy, and that's end of. And there's no excuse at the end of the day. Man United is all about the youth. It always has been about the youth ever since day dot. And there's plenty of youth players in that youth academy that could definitely. There's a few people in the comments have said it that could definitely get us over the line with a not a positive end of the season, but at least get a few results here and there that we're not 15th or 16th or 14th. We're like 10th or 11th or 12th, like at best. But he's just got to go to the youth academy. But yeah, that's all I've got to say.
Yeah.
Well, big up Jarvis.
Big up,
Big up,
big
Jarvis.
Nah, I don't know if you have probably talked a lot about the game. So, but for me personally, I think we weren't too bad. Going with the first half, I think we were in balance as a team. But it saddens me still that we didn't sign Sander Berge. I think he's a brilliant player, but we haggled over 5 million.
He played
with
well
Fulham.
today.
He did.
He played well today. He was
Again,
fantastic.
he plays brilliant every time.
And
for
his
Fulham.
penalty, what a penalty! Oh my god,
Oh,
what a
good penalty.
technique!
And
By the way, Jarvis told us about this player. He did a player profile on this channel before he had his own channel, and broke it down for us that he's phenomenal. But for me, with the injuries, I kept saying he's injured, and then it took him time to get into the team. But I said get both when Ugarte, and both. I was like, Manchester United should be getting both, but they didn't. At the end of the day, today I think, Jarvis, I don't know if you saw what I said, but I put this down to Ineos because we had 2 less attackers to options when we went into extra time to bring on to change the game. While Silva, Fulham, had like how many players on the bench, and they'd used all their 5 substitutions, and he staggered it, and he brought on the fatigue players, and they gave a bit more energy. I thought from after we scored, I like the shape today. I thought we played a different shape. We were in the last couple of games. I've seen that we're more behind the ball when the opposition have the ball. We are a bit more to mid to low block. That's where we are. That's what we're comfortable at. And especially in this game, I thought the emphasis was on Fulham to open us up, and they were doing it at will. They lacked a bit of quality as well in the final.
They did.
But they kept the ball and they kept recycling it, and they played through us comfortably, very comfortably. Because we still do not know how to press properly. But I thought in the game, the only time I saw United having sustained possession and actually attacking was the first 10 minutes in the game. And then after we scored in the second half for about 10 to 15 minutes, rest of the game was all Fulham for me, and they deservedly are going through. Me personally,
yeah.
In terms of the way we played, I like Sirski fighting today. I thought he had a bit more energy. He was trying to press the way he wanted to. He won the ball back a little bit more. But Rasmus Højlund is now worse than a Sunday League player. I feel so sorry for the kid.
He's right.
He's an imposter on a football pitch. An 18-year-old came on, and by the way, 6-7 times each player's had the ball to give the ball to him, and they all ignored him. I don't know what the F is going on here. Mazraoui, Bruno, Casemiro, Garnacho about 3 times. Diego Dalot. All of them ignoring to give the ball to him. I don't know what the F is going on. And Garnacho's decision-making today was back to his old erratic. We only saw the good decision-making from him for 3 to 4 games this season. The rest of it is being crap. His decision-making is horrendous. Rasmus Højlund, you might as well play with 10 men. He's literally playing against us, right? Chido came on, and I didn't want to pass to him. The times that they passed to him, he showed what he's about. He actually showed really good movement on the shoulder, turning his ways. I thought it was one ball he should have controlled, and that was the good pass from. But he didn't expect it. He didn't expect that pass because they weren't passing to him at that time. In terms of Mazraoui, we analysed it. Ugarte in the first half, and the lit on that side, 0. Did not offer us anything. I thought we missed Eriksen. He was doing it during the Ten Hag years, dropping into that halfway line on the left-hand side, sometimes inside, just over the halfway line or inside the halfway line, grabbing the ball, getting us to play. I thought in that first 10 minutes, he was phenomenal. He was absolutely phenomenal in what he was doing and keeping us ticking. But I think we looked a bit more better at times because of Ericsson, not because of anybody else on the flipping football pitch. And the level of football I have never seen in my life, but this is what it's been. We countered at home like cowards, struck back into our shape, but I didn't see the gaps. So I can say that at least learning. It might be too late, but he's learning a little bit in terms of how to keep the shape. I didn't see a lot of open wide spaces today. I didn't see that.
No. Well, I saw it a little bit when Ugarte was subbed off and Ericsson and Bruno was in the pivot. Then you saw sometimes there was one instance when Smith Rowe he ran with the ball all the way into our last third, and they created a big chance with the cutback from Robinson. But besides that, I would say no, we didn't see the gaps today. But what disappoints me is how the players react. Okay, we have a small squad and we have to put on Lindelof and Casemiro at the end and Garnacho and stuff like that. But they are still in Amorim's training sessions, and they should pick up what Amorim is saying. But we reverted into counter-attacking football, low block, starting to play direct or just hoof it up and hope for the best. So in a way, I'm very disappointed of how we play football. And I think we can do better. We had more possession playing 10 men last game and than we did today. So I don't know what's wrong with a lot of these players. I don't think they are.
But Jarvis, to be fair,
Yeah.
Fulham are better quality than Ipswich, and we played with 10 men for large parts of that game. For me, the blame lies on with Ineos because we are less 2 attackers down. Because of that. We're 2 attackers down that he could have had options of the bench, and we did, and you could see they were tired. Obviously, Ugarte got himself the yellow card. He's a hothead. He is a hothead.
That wasn't a yellow card. He
No
died.
way.
Pereira, he died.
I
There was
know.
no
He
yellow.
gave him
Yeah,
the yellow card, but he gave him the yellow card.
he did.
This is what we were.
You see,
He got the yellow
Nordin,
card. Always going to be a risk. Always going to be
Nordin,
risking.
my issue, the reason I'm saying we can't
And
necessarily
by the way,
just
Luani, I just want to
blame.
answer what you were saying before. 1 second, Luani.
Mhm. Yep.
I can't be very hard on Amorim because I blame the people who fucking bought into this football club
Yep.
and put him in this situation. I blame them. I don't go and look at the guy who's out of his depth, right? I don't go and blame him. I blame the people who bought him here, Luani. I'm not blaming. He's a 40-year-old coach, like he said tonight. Wayne Rooney said he should have come out and said, we're going to win the league. Rooney, come on. Bloody hell, how thick do you have to be? He's not talking about winning the Premier League this season or next season. He's saying that's the club's ambition, the board's ambition is to win the Premier League, and they have to give something for the future. That's all we've been. At the moment, there are children who are alive, right, who are nearly 13 years old, who don't remember Manchester United winning a league title. I don't see us winning a league title within the next 7 to 8 years.
Yeah.
Right? So that'll be 2 decades. We are nothing but a Wikipedia page right now. So for me, I'm sorry, people. If you want me to be focused on Amorim, I'm sick of focusing on coaches. The guy's been here 3 months. The guy is here. He is so aspects of it. Taking off the only thing who had the energy, who had the pace, who had the ball carrying ability as Yoro, and bringing on Lindelof was bewildered because you're asking to be knocked out of the FA Cup. You're asking when you bring on Lindelof. I don't remember the last time he played football for United.
I don't know.
I don't remember it. So at the end of the day, that unless it's an injury, that was a bewildering. And the amount of changes he makes to centre backs is bewildering as well. And the biggest thing they always said to you in football is that one of the things you want to build relationships. If you're playing a back three, change one, not change 2 or 3, and not change every game. You need to give time for players to build relationships. I understand you have to freshen it up, but taking off Yoro for me was the most bewildering. I am not going to blame him. I'll be like, what the hell is a question mark? I'm like, what are you doing? What is that? What is that for? But I'm not blaming Amorim. I never wanted Amorim. I'm on record here, and I keep saying it again. I thought he was going to Liverpool. He wasn't even on my radar. I said, do not get anybody abroad. I said that after Tanag. I said, that's it. Finished up. That's it. Let's close the doors. I want somebody who knows about the Premier League. And I said,
Okay.
get the guy who can put the fundamentals down, improve players. So
Okay.
I now can't come out every game and blame Amorim because the people who bought him here are to fucking blame. Like I always say, no player ever buys themselves. No coach ever brings themselves. No coach puts themselves on the football pitch and coaches, and no player puts them on the football pitch. These are decisions made by the football club. So take it up with the people who are making the decisions at the football club. But majority of us are too cowardly to go and have to be on Ineos and focus on the Glazers. For me, I don't focus on the Glazers anymore. It's Ineos. I'm already Glazers out. 20 years Glazers out. I'm not changed. Ineos are the face of the football now. And they're
Nuruddin.
Luan,
Nuruddin.
listen, before you come in, bro, I need to go,
Yeah.
gentlemen. So
Just big
big
up
up
on my
yourselves.
Yeah.
Big up another beautiful performance, and big up everybody in the chat.
Big up,
Ramadan
Moe.
Mubarak all. I'll see
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
on the next one.
Just
See
big
you.
up, bro.
See you.
Good
Yeah.
night,
Bro,
all.
peace.
Good night, Bomber.
You
Good
see,
night, guys.
good night. You see, my friends, you see, the issue is that me, I'm not pro Ineos, and I don't hate Amorim. All I'm saying is the reason I'm putting something, the blame on his feet is because there are certain things that he can change that are within his power that he's not changing. That's my only issue. If you take defenders, which their whole nature in their life is to defend, is second nature to them, and you try to teach them how to attack, that's a more difficult feat to accomplish. That's why I'm blaming him. All I'm saying is he need to change his mindset. His mindset have to be to attack. If you are attacking and for some reason you're still losing games, even if it's a cricket score, if you're losing by a 3-4 or a 5-4 or something, we can be like, you know what, we see what he's trying to do. If you playing youth players, if you find, for example, two true wingers that you playing on the flanks, right, and we are attacking with them, and they're getting certain things wrong in the final third, we can still say that, you know what, the mindset is right, but the kids are not experienced. That's easy to see. But if you have somebody like Harry Maguire in your back line, at your central back line, that already is preventing you from moving your line all the way to the halfway line, and you can attack based on that alone, that's a choice of personnel. That's on you. I cannot blame Ineos for that. We don't know what's being said in the background between Ineos and Amorim. All we know is that the players that are not here because Amorim doesn't want them here, right? But we don't know what's been agreed between him and Ineos in terms of incoming. So somebody that's pro Amorim can come now and say, you know what, why they didn't buy him players during the January transfer window. Somebody who's pro Ineos can come and say now that, hey, we didn't buy him any players because he said that he didn't need any players. We don't know. All of that is speculation. But all I'm focusing on the thing that we are within his power. Harry Maguire should not be in that back line. The understudy, Diego Dallo and Mazarawi should be understudy respectively for Lenny Yero and Delete. You can, okay. If Leniero and Delete are not playing, you can play Diego Dallo and Mazarawi as defender. You are playing three defenders so that you can have two attacking wing back. You're not playing three defenders so you can have two defensive wing back. And that's a fundamental flaw in the system. Why is he screwing over his own system by his choice of personnel? It's something he can change. We cannot see that. Why
Okay,
can't he see that?
who is he supposed to play then?
I'm saying he have a 22-man squad and a youth team. You telling me for at least if he have 40,
Ahmad is injured and Dorgu is suspended. So tell
yeah,
me.
but the youth team played. The youth team played against Arsenal yesterday. You want to tell me that in a 22-man squad youth team he cannot find anybody to play a wing back to attack better than Dallo and Mazarawi? We look at the games Dallo is having and look at Mazarawi today. Not a single attacking impetus from Mazarawi. It's not because he doesn't want to do it. He can't do it. That's the issue. He can't do it. So you recognize that he's doing that is against the nature of the player. If it's against his nature, don't try to force them into it. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
It's not going to happen.
No, facts, Luani. Like, obviously, I could see Jarvis's point about tonight, but Luani's talking about since Amarim arrived. He's had options on the bench. He's had options in the squad to play the likes of Anthony. You had Rashford there. You've had all these wingers and like players obviously beforehand that. Oh, Nerdy, you gonna come in there?
Yeah, Rashford to me should have gone.
Oh yeah, 100%. But he has had up.
We were all crying out for Rashford to be dropped. We're not gonna. For me, Anthony was the guy who was making difference in the game in this system. Anthony was the guy that was holding up possession up the pitch and actually working way better. And Ahmad to get injured. The idea that you think that the players are not gonna get injured is the most ludicrous to me. In the most challenging, physically demanding league in world football. Like, are you taking the piss? But go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
Yeah, facts. No, you're all good, bro. And then, so he's had obviously Anthony on the bench. People are gonna criticize me for saying this next player, but you have Malacia on the bench too to prevent Dallo from playing or Mazarawi playing to the left wing back. The thing is with Malacia, he's still a defensive wing back, but he offers you something different. He's a left footer. He has gone up the pitch before in the Arsenal. Go and watch it back in the Emirates game. Malacia was literally up in the final third at some stages in the game. So he has some attacking abilities. And I know obviously the one thing I would criticize about Malacia is he doesn't take his player on much. But the one thing I really like of Malacia is when he knows he can't do much, he always plays a simple pass and goes back, to the midfield. Dallo doesn't. Dallo just pretends he's prime bloody Roberto Carlos and tries taking players on. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You're not right. You're not left-footed. Go back and play the simple pass. It's embarrassing. And there's, like I said, Luani's talking on the basis of Amarim arriving tonight. Obviously, yes, I completely agree with Jarvis's point. Who was he meant to play? Yeah, obviously you can go with the youth, go to the youth academy, like I said. But tonight, at the end of the day, he had no other options really. Dorgu was suspended. Anthony's gone. Rashford's gone. Who else have we really got? But under Amarim's reign, no excuses. Anthony was there when we played at the Etihad. Anthony was the one of the main reasons, apart from obviously Ahmad for getting those two outstanding goals. But Anthony was the main reason why we kept control of the ball and kept control of the tempo of the game at the Etihad. And as well as that, if he came on for like 15 minutes at Anfield, and we actually kept the control of the game too. Obviously, even though we were playing on the back foot, obviously with the five at the back as well. But the main thing is, he's had the chance. He deserves the criticism as he needs right now because with the whole Anthony situation. But at the end of the day, the bigger picture is, and 100% agree with Nerd, is fucking Ineos. Ineos brought him in. At the end of the day, this is on them. They've hung him out to dry with only getting Patrick Dorgu in, and it's on fucking them. That's the bigger picture. But Amarim deserves the criticism with the whole Anthony situation. That's the most important fucking thing. But it's on Ineos, fucking them.
Let's remember what he did, right?
1 minute, Luani. I want to hear from Eski and Jarvis, and then we can come back to you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Eski.
So what were we debating?
So we were debating about.
Sound like your Wi-Fi is moving like Manchester United on the penalty shootout.
Oh, it's okay now.
There.
Yeah, they're trying to censor me. It's okay.
Hey, you're okay, bro. You're good.
What were we debating?
So we were debating about.
It's Ramadan. He's tired, man. He went to the game. I feel so bad for you.
I'm mentally drained after what I've seen today, man.
Fasting, and then watching extra time, and you're fasting, and you got all your food to break your fast at home. That's why I didn't go today. I was like, we're going out anyway. What's the point? But go ahead,
man.
We're just saying about.
Go on.
Does Amarim deserve criticism? Because a lot of people want me to be like, come out and say, I'm Amarim. I'm not saying Luani is, but some people in the chat are saying, people were calling me coward, saying that you're Amarim. I'm like, I'm not here to blame a guy who's out of his depth, but I blame the people who brought him in.
You know who I also blame? I'm not gonna lie. I blame man like Saeed TV. I blame your boy. I love him. Yeah, Saeed TV, and I blame Rant. Rant Saeed
Yeah,
TV.
give it him, Esky. Go on, give it
What
him.
it is, what it is, yeah. Obviously, yeah. I've spoke to Rants before, innit? Yeah, on air, innit? Yeah, cool guy. Everyone, yeah, got love for him, innit? But obviously, when you turn so quick or you can't see like everyone's reaction rate, I'm upset in it. Yeah, on the way home, I can say some things in it. Yeah, after when we lost to Liverpool 5-0, I was ollie out in it. Yeah, but then my bill was like, no, you don't mean that. Came to my senses in it. You say stupid things. I'm just saying in it. Yeah, fans can create narratives as well, and it becomes a big thing. We're in a social media age as well in it. Yeah, it's too reactionary to say a guy who's been here 3 months, you expect him to improve everyone in the squad, who by the way was failing for 2 years under the previous manager. So they're on a downer, man. Nothing was happening. You could say, all right, Van Nistelrooy was here, play started looking good. He was Ahmad was doing good at Van Nistelrooy. But then what will happen is Van Nistelrooy will do stay to the end of the season. Let's say he does well, and people will be clamoring to give him another contract. Now you're in another Ollie situation. Like it's just we're kind of in situations where you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Think every manager is a gamble. Every manager is a gamble. If we get Pep Guardiola tomorrow, let's say for in an alternate world, it's a gamble. Does it work with these players? Is Pep allowed to get by the players that he wants to work with this? The Glazers, you know, like the Sheikhs, we fucking the night and day. Everything's a
Pep
gamble.
had a spine and he still struggled that first season. He got smashed all over the place.
Right, yeah, he didn't get, you know, he had
a spine. He had Aguero, Company, David Silva. Torre, all these
company, fucking Joe Hart, he's probably the weakest in the spine. But that's the point, innit? The guys come here and you have decent stuff, but every signing's a gamble. Because Jadon Sancho, how many of us thought Jadon Sancho wasn't going to work? Very rarely, because look at the numbers. You would say, look at the stats and the stat and the third. He's a certified thing. Bruno, all right, I'm Bruno defender. No one expected Bruno to be this well. If you took him out of that team today, guys, we were a championship team. We are anyway, even with him in there. Let's be real. We are that bad.
I'd rather do that than waste the time with him. Well, we're crap anyway. He's just scooping balls.
Jordan is already.
We played through.
Go on.
I don't believe you can play through one player. I don't.
I'm not saying that. I'm
you're supposed to play through good football. You not have Bruno as the guy you play through.
Look. At the end of the day, in 5 years' time, when it's all said and done, we're gonna look back and say he was a top player for us.
No,
he's a big game player for Man United, and he's done it for years. He's not a legend of the club, but since Fergie's gone, in my opinion,
our best players.
Look at these fucking yo, the things. Come on.
He's had enough.
He's out of there. He's had enough. No, but
no. Don't drive up the bridge. Don't drive up the bridge.
Esky, what do you think of Bruno off the ball, though?
Off the ball, he runs the most out of the team, headless chicken at times. But if the system, but you just asked me off the ball. He defensively, right? Bruno defensively for an attacking midfielder who creates the second most, or arguably the most chances in the Premier League since he's been here.
Not big chances, though. Not big chances, though. There's a difference between chances created and big chances. Like, you know, at the end of the day, like there's two differences there. He's not created
okay. I've made the argument before. Yes, what does a chance mean? Like, is a chance like a big chance? IXG. It doesn't. Just saying the terms is that. But let's put it this way then. If he were making them same chances for United than he was in City, they would look at him like he's Kevin De Bruyne because they'd be getting put away. We've had terrible finishing for years. Everyone knows that. We created chances. Last season, Højlund's first season, we weren't creating chances for him. Now we are. We know Højlund shit. We've seen it now. The ball goes to him, doesn't stick. We know all that. But again, like I said, a little bit of leeway. He was never meant to be the first striker. But as a footballer right now, worse than a Sunday League player, I get you. But Bruno Fernandes could be a top player in any team in the world. He could. He has some shit games and whatever else, but he literally could be a top player. If Arsenal could replace Odegaard for him, I think they would, man. I genuinely think they would. Odegaard doesn't score goals. He doesn't score goals. You can shake your head at the end of the day. He creates more chances than Odegaard, and he scores more goals than him. So they would like someone like that in the team. They'd play him up front. He's better than Kai Havertz. That old fucking Havertz system, they would play him in there. This guy is useful. Off the ball, he runs the most for an attacking midfielder, and his defensive stats are quite decent, to be fair. And he plays 120 minutes today. He'll play 90 minutes the next game. He'll play the one after that.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
I agree with you there. I agree with you. We don't have backup in key positions. Look at our fucking bench today. Do you know what I mean? We could have done with Andreas Pereira today. I liked him as a player. His decision making was terrible. Might not have been good enough to start for Man United, but he's the kind of player you bring on for Bruno Fernandes. Someone like that, someone a bit more tidy on the ball, doesn't hoof it, can keep it steady, give him a little game plan and you can get good 20, 30 minutes out of him. We don't have these players in backup. Who's our second most creative player? Mainu in the 10 is our next thing. But then Amarim decides to play him false 9 the next game, innit? We're very weird. But I think Mainu as a 10, we don't have access to him. Amad Diallo's not available. Amarim's never had a left back, and then he got him for 2 games, and then he picked up a red card, which I don't think was a red card, but he's got it regardless. And now he still doesn't have a left back for this game. Ruben Amorim is getting shafted as well, like every other manager, because look, we're all here criticizing Ineos. That then means the manager is suffering because Ineos are shit. So how are then people?
No shadow of a doubt. And we've said it before anybody else on this channel, by the way. Listen, brother, go and get the food. You've been in the cold, hungry, watching that shite for 2 hours. Get yourself some food, get yourself some rest. Pray for us. Pray for Manchester United.
Pray for everyone, man. I've scanned. I've had a little bit. I'm good.
Okay. Tiredness. Big up. Jarvis, take it away. We're gonna mute.
I just want to say,
the coach wants to tell us.
No, but guys, we talk about Højlund all the time, and I think a lot of people think that Xerxes had a good game today, but I'm just going to say he didn't. He was crap, and he lost the ball. He was dispossessed 10 times, and out of 22,
he's got a condition, Jarvis. It's called Bruno-titis.
Yeah. But the problem is we don't play with 10 men. We play with 9 men out on the pitch today. Castagne. He played for Leicester. Now he plays for Fulham. He won 100% of his duels and 100% of his aerial duels, ground duels and aerial duels. He was up against Xerxes a lot of the time. Xerxes, he won 5 out of 22 ground duels. He's a big man. 5 out of 22. That's 22%.
Yeah.
How many aerial duels do you think Xerxes won? He had 9. How many out of 9? 1. Okay. He won 2. 2 out of 9. And he was dispossessed 10 times. How many dribbles do you think he completed during the 120 minutes? He had 6. How many? 1. Yes, 1. 7.
I remember watching 17. The game 1.
Oh my god.
So his stats, stats are not all. I know it, but he was terrible today. He worked hard. He tried his best. Yeah, I'll give effort. But we are back to effort. We are back to Fred and McTominay. It's about effort. And I'm not having it anymore. The quality of these players are not good enough. We have the same problem with Xerxes. The quality of Højlund, it's terrible, and a lot of these players are not good enough. But I heard, for example, Luani, you were talking about Masraoui, but Masraoui was actually quite good today. But he's deep. Yes, he's deep on the pitch, but that's because we force him to be deep, because every time Lindelof receives the ball on the left, he can't pass the ball forward. So he has to pass it back to Maguire, and Maguire passes it out to Masraoui, and Masraoui have to go deep to receive the ball. But Masraoui actually doing thing with the ball. He takes on his man, he creates, he goes inside with the ball and do stuff.
Jarvis, on TV, I spotted the little Maguire telling Masraoui to drop.
Yes,
they were doing this.
Yes.
They literally
it's not his fault.
Masraoui, he's just doing what's needed because of the inefficiencies of the team in other areas. So it goes down to quality. So we have to be clear when it comes to which players to attack and criticize, because Masraoui is not one of them. He did what he had to do this game. And Dalot had a good game. Yes, he had a good game today. But again, he was terrible when it comes to his attacking skill. He doesn't take on his man. And when it comes to crosses, Dalot, he had 1 out of 8 crosses.
He's not left-footed.
It's not his
8.
fault.
It's not
17% of his crosses is accurate. No, 13%. 1-3 out of all his crosses. It's terrible. So we have so many deficient players who can't do their job. You know, you have to be able to take on your man. You have to be able to cross. You have to be able to do stuff. You have to be able to pass with your left foot. If you play at Man United, you are 11 players out of millions in the world who wants to play for United. And you can't even pass with your left foot. Get out of here. That's bullshit. You should never be playing for Man United. Lindelof, you should sod off. That's my only thing. You shouldn't be in this team. It's not good enough.
Jarvis, my grievance is not with the players individually. You see, Mazarawi is a good player, no problem. My issue is how he's deploying the system. When you have a lot of players in a team that consistently cannot do something well enough, then I start looking at the system. You can have one player have a bad game. You can have a couple of players have a bad game here and there. But when you have a lot of players having a bad game on a consistent basis, I start looking at the system. The issue that I have with this coach is the way in which he is deploying the system. Yes, we have limited players, but you don't have to play them. You don't have to play Maguire in the center of that pitch. Today, I see Fulham opening up with they open with 2 defenders. They drop a goalkeeper in the middle of it. That's their build-up, right? They leave their wingers high, but yet they're playing with 2 defenders. We are playing with 3 defenders, and our wing back are still dropping in defense. Make that make sense. That make sense. That have nothing to do with player profile. That have to do with the approach of the manager. If the manager's mindset is like, yo, I need you guys to defend first. I don't want to take any risk. That's just the way they're going to play. And if the players are not, if his mindset is to attack, let's assume his mindset is to attack, and the players naturally don't want to attack, then don't play those players. Leave them on the touchline and play the players that want to attack naturally. Okay? We always talk about the players that he have and the players that he doesn't have. And it's the same conversation all the time. But the one fact that's consistent is that we have players that their approach is not correct. We are not attacking. That's consistent. And then the way he's playing does not suit the players because we have way too many players that are underperforming all the time. We don't want to rely on individual brilliance to win game. We were Ahmad FC until Ahmad got injured. My issue with these managers, when he got his full squad, right, is not when now we can make excuse. We can say, oh, this person is injured. This person is injured. His team is, the team is thin. But when he first came, he had a full squad. Nobody told him. And when he had a full squad, I've seen Bruno play in the 10. I've seen Bruno play in the 8. I've seen Bruno play in the 6. I've seen Kobe Mino play in the 6. I've seen him deploying in the 10. I've seen him deployed in attack. I've seen Xerxes and Haaland on the bench. You know, I've seen Dalot play consistently while he's being shit. I've seen Dogu when he first arrived. And he was played on the right instead of Dalot. All those things that he can control.
We didn't want the new assessment period, but I told you, if we sack the manager, we will go back to start and we have a new assessment period where every player need to be assessed. And
I don't want him to be sacked. I don't want him to be sacked. I just want him to fix his mistake, especially the one that are obvious to us to see.
Better off keeping Ten Hag at the current state because I don't want another assessment period. I want to wait till the summer when everything is right, when the stars are aligned and everything is hunky-dory. We can bring in a new manager and support him, not mid-season. And especially if you play with the back three, it won't work. I said it right away. Noureddin said it. We all said it. It can't work with this.
Okay, Jarvis, I have a question for you. I have a question for you particularly, right?
Luwani, 1 second. Jarvis, actually, you said it. I disagree with you, but you were right. You were right. Because to me, I was sick of this. I was sick of the basketballification of football with Ten Hag. But I got more basketballification.
But let me just comment.
Jarvis, I have a question for you. Simple, right? If you're owner of a club and you hire a manager, and the manager
is doing something. You brought him in because you think he's the right man for the job. And obviously, he's doing some things. You pay him a lot of money to fix a problem. And you obviously seen that there are things that are obvious to you, right? That he's not fixing. What would you do? Would you give him more time? Would you give him more money to buy more players while he's not doing the obvious? What would you do?
I don't know. It's obvious that Ineos, who are is responsible for the footballing side of Man United, are not doing their job properly. This is top men, best in class,
bigger picture.
coming in and
They told us
totally.
that, Jarvis. Please repeat that, please, Power. Just repeat that for me. Best in what?
Best in class, top men. They have astute footballing people from Manchester City and Newcastle and all over the world coming in and steadying the ship and doing the right decisions. But then we sit here and see dodgy Dave coming in with terrible decisions. They kept Ten Hag in the wrong with the wrong reasons. They backed him and sacked him and brought in a manager with a completely different style again. We bring in new managers and we have to start all over again. That's not a footballing structure. That's nowhere near a footballing. That's nothing with footballing structure. They should bring in the place they wanted, not what Ten Hag wanted, and they should have a style and thought of this already. They have been in the job for 1 year. 1 year since they took over the club. And they made it more of a mess than it already was. Who would have imagined that they could do a worse job than Glazers? But they have almost done a worse job because they made a total mess of everything now.
Jarvis,
we play with wing backs, but we don't have a wing back.
I warned everybody about Ineos. I warned
Jarvis, Nuruddin, I'm not excusing Ineos, right? But you see, they just took over the club. So choosing a manager is not an exact science. It's a gamble. Okay, you choose your style. You can choose the style you want to play, but you can never tell how a manager will turn up when it comes to especially a different league. It's a gamble. So that we cannot say that is within their power because they don't know. They don't have a crystal ball. They don't know what the future is going to be. They brought in a manager, is not working out well. That's beyond their control. What's within their control is when or where they choose to sack him. But for a manager, picking the right player when you have options of player, that's something within your control. That he can fix that. The manager can fix that. If he can, you see where I'm going? So that's where.
Listen, me and Jarvis believe it's the people who got him in this situation. Because we're not blaming the 40-year-old coach who's come to a new league that he's never coached in, playing and wants to. We say big up for the bravery to stick to his system because that's what he knows. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's changed, but he's altered it in the last couple of games. He's altered it, made us a bit more compact. Yeah, when Ugarte is not on the pitch, we get this. Instead of getting two players like this, we get this. We get Casemiro again left by himself, Bruno running around everywhere else. Go ahead, Ben.
I seen that tonight, Jarvis. In your next video or whatever, can you try and watch the second half again? There was a wee instance in the second half. Fulham were trying to play from the back. Xerxes, Obi, Garnacho, Mazraoui, and Dallo. They were all pressing high. They were on to the left back towards Robinson, and Bruno was running, and he then turned back and told Casemiro, "Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Let me run up towards Xerxes and stay where you are." So he then pressed up, left Casemiro by himself. There's two people beside Casemiro, one which was Bruno's man and one which was Casemiro's guy. Casemiro's like, what am I meant to do? We're going back to Ten Hag days. Then Robinson had the ball, played the ball into the midfield. We're just blessed that Andreas Pereira had a shit touch and it went and he gave the ball away to Mazraoui. He did the exact same again in the first half. I think it was like the 20th or 30th minute, but I don't know. You'll need to find out. I'll have to watch it again. But we're seeing the same shit again. The bastification of football only happens because Bruno Fernandes is still in this fucking team. Honestly.
I agree with you.
Yep. And you can even please any of you, mainly Jarvis, because Jarvis, you like taking screenshots at times to find out, like, problems in the team or positives in the team. But please try and find it for the even next show for Nerd and for everyone to see.
I
Because
remember
this
the
guy,
part what you're talking about.
Yep. And he
I
could
don't
just
have I don't have that exact clip, but when
Yep.
Ericsson and Bruno was on the pitch, this happened, and you see there was a throw in for Fulham, and the guy who was throwing in was this guy, and you see both our double pivot is pushed all the way over to the left, and there's a
Lopsided.
huge gap here, and
that's called lopsided. When you
and here
get
you see Smith
lopsided,
Rowe
yep.
receiving the ball, and he just runs with it.
Yeah.
Runs with it into the gap, and you see Ericsson has no chance catching up with him. So again, there's so many things that goes on with this. They ended up with a big chance. It was a shot, and it was a good save there from Onana.
Question for the panel, guys.
But
Simple
again,
question.
it's a double pivot's not working in this, and especially when you have Bruno, because none of them are disciplined enough to stay in position.
And it's so simple. It's just so
Jarvis,
simple.
Jarvis, do you remember me doing a show before Amorim came in and tried to show you that Amorim actually does Do you remember me telling you that Amorim does similar things to Ten Hag does? Do you remember me telling you that in midfield? Telling you that at times he vacates the midfield? And that you have to be extremely fit. He demands on the players to be so fit to physically recover.
Okay, simple question for everybody, right? Whoever thought that the appointment of Ten Hag by the Glazer was a mistake?
I did after 7 months, 8 months. Ask Jarvis. I was calling it out on here.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, second question. Whoever thought that the appointment of Amorim by Ineos was a mistake?
I did.
Me
and Jarvis wanted Areola. I wanted Amorim. Jarvis wanted Areola, and I agree we should get Areola. Yeah. We did not want.
All right, then you guys defeated me. I thought we were in the majority in thinking that the appointment of Amorim was not an issue at all. But then my next question would have been: whoever thought that Amorim playing Kobe Mino in the double pivot was a mistake? Whoever thought that Amorim playing Kobe Mino as a striker with 2 strikers on the bench was a mistake? Whoever thought that Amorim playing Dalot and Mazarawi as defensive wingback was a mistake? The point I'm trying to make is that when it comes to the appointment of the managers, to a certain extent, we all agree. Okay, we all gave that a chance because we didn't know. But the ones that Amorim is making by his selection and his approach to the game is obvious to all of us. That is the point I'm trying to make. When it's obvious to all of us, football purists, we are not specialists in that way. That means that he needs to fix up. Yeah. Okay, if he fix up, then I can look at the Glazer. I always say that a bad manager can cover up for a bad board. Okay, if you're managing the coach the team badly and the team is underperforming, I cannot look beyond that. If the team is performing to a certain level but is not reaching where he wants to reach, then I can say, you know what, our players are not good enough. I can start looking at the board. But as long as the team is underperforming, it's difficult for me to look beyond that.
Luani, I'm afraid we said this. We predicted that Ineos were going to F it up. We were calling it out in real time. You were on some of the shows when we were calling it out. I'm not saying Amorim should be excused from any criticism because we criticize players. Coaches should be criticized. But the idea that we need to sack him, I'm blaming everything on him. I don't believe that. And I have never believed that. Ask Jarvis. Even I wanted Ten Hag out because I was sick of the basketball dedication because he was taking the piss out of us. In the last 3 games of the season, he decided to play compact. With all the injuries we had from that season. So for me, that you're insulting my intelligence when I'm paying good money to go to fucking games. You're taking the piss out of me as a fan. I'm coming to try to support you. What I'm saying to you is that I expected zilch from Amorim. Zilch. I did a video and I said, this guy makes mistakes and I said that he will struggle because the Premier League is a different beast. Doing what you're doing in other leagues is different. The Premier League would always bite you, mate. You can't mess about. The best coach in the world, which is Pep Guardiola in the last something years, right, came to the Premier League You know how we finished 4th by goal difference to Manchester United, Van Gaal. And he had a spine of Aguero, Silva, Yaya Toure, company. You know what I mean? He had a decent team. He had league winners, guys who won leagues with Mancini and with Pellegrini. And he struggled. So the point I wanted to make to Luan is that it's not that easy to come in. And Manchester United, it's a toxic football club. How many shows have we done on here? You're part of the therapy army. We've done so many shows on here, Luan, where we said, this club is toxic. Players fail, coaches fail. When so many players fail, so many coaches fail, we're a graveyard for coaches, we're a graveyard for players. Who do you look at? And majority of you fans want to ignore the people who needs to be looked at. And like I said, no player puts himself on the football pitch. No coach hired themselves.
Hey, 100%. You're right. But, you know, underestimating the job at hand is also a form of incompetence, you know?
Yeah, and this is the point what I've been trying to make with the channel. We set up the channel to be against the Glazers.
Yeah.
And now I'm calling out all the bootlickers who was supporting Ineos. Jarvis will tell you, I was telling Jarvis, even off air, I don't think Ineos are the people. Sometimes you had a chat after we finished the show, and I'm like, I'm not sure about Ineos.
No. But let's be clear. I don't want Amorim sacked.
No.
Me neither.
No.
But I won't give him any other game.
But I want Amorim to stay. I want to give him a chance. And you know, he has a free pass for the rest of the season from me. I won't judge him at all. I know it's an assessment period, and I know the plays are shit. It's just the way it is. Yep. And it's hard for him to do anything. If he gets a full preseason and let's say we have to sign maybe 7 players.
Yes, Jarvis, let me say this
to 9.
Yeah, let me say this too, Jarvis. The preseason is going to be helter-skelter. And thank God there's no Euros, there's no World Cup. Because for 8 million, they're getting in travel all different parts of the world to go to the US again, fly everywhere.
Yeah, I'm going to Hong Kong or Malaysia or Malaysia.
Yes. To get 8 million. To get 8 million, Jarvis.
Yes.
If I was the players, I swear to God, if I was Bruno, I'll ask all the players, guys, can you all chip in 400 grand each so we don't have to go to Thailand? We'll give the 8 million to the club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's the point? Nobody wants to. Those fans, Jarvis, wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch that shite. Do you think they're going to be welcoming?
No.
But no, I think that's what football has become these days. The preseason, they have to sell the club to other nation, other continent. It's just the way it is. And all the club do that. All the big club do that, you know. But still, that doesn't prevent them from having a good season.
Luani, when the club is successful. But anyway, listen, big up to everybody. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. It's been a hell of a show. For me, I put it down to Ineos. I do not understand why he took Lenny Yoro off. That's on Amorim. Yep. I'm not afraid of criticizing the coach. I'm not. I have never been and never will be. I will criticize the players. Somebody said to us before, calling Bruno shit is racism. No, that's not racism. If you talk about his nationality and you talk about the Portuguese nation, then you might be bordering on being xenophobic or prejudice. But calling the player shit, not a problem. Not a problem. Criticizing the performance, not a problem. But people,
my last word.
Go ahead.
My last word, please. Amorim need to understand that he work for cheap owners, and when you work for cheap owners, you don't play with house money, because if you do, the axe is coming very soon. So
keep an eye on the video tomorrow. Keep an eye on the video tomorrow. Make sure you watch the video I put up tomorrow, Luani. And we're going to talk about that. I'm going to do a video talking about that because he said a very interesting thing overnight. Overnight, go and watch his press conference, the embargoed section, the part 2. He come out with really interesting quotes. So that's when it needs to be done. But go ahead, Ben. Last word from you and Eski. I feel so bad for Eski. First day of Ramadan, second day of Ramadan. And you go to the stadium, you couldn't even have proper food. Go ahead, Ben. That's the word of the show.
Yes, just very quickly, happy Ramadan again to everyone. Free Palestine, fuck Zionism, fuck Donald Trump, fuck Keir Starmer, Big up the Green Brigade. And yeah, no, as I said, I like Jarvis's point on giving Amorim like a free pass at the end of the season. The most important thing is the outgoings, Jarvis. I don't know where you heard me earlier on, but it's the outgoings. Like he favoritism over like Bruno and Dallo and all that stuff. Like, does he? The big question is, if he keeps them over the summer and starts them next season, then it's going to be more pressure on them because we've seen what Dallo and Bruno's capable of. But now, like I said, the message I've got to send to Amorim is because I don't want him gone. I don't want him sacked. It's always on Ineos and the Glazers, but
I don't think they can afford to sack him back.
No, they can't. They can't. They can't. They might have to sack another 100 kitchen staff employees, but
before they sack Amorim.
Exactly.
They're sacking everybody else before they sack Amorim.
Embarrassing. But now my message to him though is to the end of the season is play the youth. That's the most important thing is play the youth. Bring the youth in. I can play in the wing backs. I can play in the midfield. It's a free pass. It sounds so bad for me to say because I always want United to win, but I just don't really want us to go far into the Europa League, even though it is a step, to get in the Champions League. But I just don't. I just think the more we hit Glazers in the pocket and Ineos in the pocket, then the better. The better for all of us because that's the most important thing. You can't be a successful club if the culture's not right, if the whole place is just disgusting. We've got owners that just, we're 1.2 billion in debt. It's just fucking embarrassing at this point. But now he's just got to play the youth. I never wanted Amorim. I was always leaning towards Zerbi was my number one choice, and outside of I loved Areola too, but I think the only manager I was taking outside of because I remember super chatting to you, Nurden. The only coach I really loved outside of Europe, the UK, was Sebastian Hoeneß from Stuttgart, and even he's not doing well. He's not doing well at all, Stuttgart, and it just comes back to me saying, well, Stuttgart, if Hoeneß came to United, would he have done well? It doesn't look like it because he's not doing well at Stuttgart. So, but I can see he is a coach. He's a proper coach, but maybe he's just one of them ones that he's like what Bombay said. He's not the guy. He's the guy before the guy. But now, like I said, big up everyone. Big up the chat. Big up for having me on. Free Palestine. Fuck Zionism. And let's move on to Real Sociedad and big up Eski because I haven't seen Eski on this channel for a while.
Yeah, man. Big up. Nice
big up Eski. Big up Ben.
Yeah, man.
Big
nice
up Lomani.
Go ahead, Eski. Last word from you.
Last word.
You watched 2 hours of dog shite.
Watch 2 hours of nothing. Spend your money wisely, folks. People always told me back in the day when I was young, I didn't listen, and I went to the United game and wasted my time and money. So spend your money wisely. Fuck Zionism. Fuck Ineos. Peace and love. Have a good Ramadan, people. Respect everyone. Just be cool in it, man. Big up Noridin for hosting, man. Sick guy.
Big up. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah. I don't want to make a big debate. I just want to make my point, so you guys can just see. I just want to show you guys this clip because I heard you, Nordin, said that Lenny Yoro shouldn't be subbed off. I don't know why he was subbed off. I think Lenny Yoro is a brilliant guy. You heard me compare him to Maldini of all, but I think he's a brilliant defender. First of all, I just want to show you this clip. It's a quick clip. It's Munoz annihilating Maguire in the air. Aerial duel. So you see the ball goes here and you see Munoz here crushing Maguire in the air. I can show you one more time. See here Maguire. And then I want to go over to the next clip. And this is Lenny Yoro against the same guy. Look at Lenny Yoro here. Actually doing the complete opposite. He's crushing him in the air. So for me, Lenny Yoro is a much better aerial dueler than Maguire. Maguire is just big, but Lenny Yoro, he know how to time up his jump and actually win. But look at this segment. Here is Lenny Yoro, and the ball goes out to Pereira. It's at least 5 yards, maybe 7-8 yards in between them. But look how he recovers, his recovery pace here. And now it's a beautiful thing here. Look at this. It just makes connection. Lets Pereira know I'm here. And it's in balance. This is how a proper defender do it. They don't slide on their ass or run. He slows down his run to stay in balance and have fully control on Pereira, blocks the cross, and wins the ball. This is how a proper defender do it. You know, I can't say it enough. Lenny Yoro is a fantastic defender.
Yep.
And he will be one of the best defenders if he's happy, if he's lucky with no injuries and stuff like that. So he's a
I feel
gem.
bad for him. I really think he should go to a club that can develop his talent, Jarvis. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I agree.
Million.
I agree. He's an excellent footballer. Excellent
But why
footballer.
did
He
they
reminds
take
me
him
so
off?
much of
Why did
Nesta
they take
as
him
well.
off? Why did he take him off? To me, that's the bit.
It has to be an injury. I don't know if he said
no,
anything.
there's no injury. He had no injury. People in the stadium have told me no injury. All the WhatsApp groups, I message everybody who's at the game.
He walked right in front of me, Jarvis. We clapped him off. He walked perfectly fine right in front of me. Nothing.
There you go.
But you see how he crushed Munoz in that aerial duel. And you know, Munoz is a brilliant
He's actually one of the best ball carriers in this team. He's carries the ball.
Was he on a yellow? It might have been because he was on the yellow.
No,
he wasn't.
Was he not? I don't know then. I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
Remember how I was advocating for him to start and play more game? That's the whole point. He seemed to be getting better game per game. And that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Anyway, big up people. Listen, we've been live for a long time. Big up people. Please make sure people. Let's get to Tactical Devils in 1,000 subscribers ASAP. There it is. There, I've just posted it. Make sure you subscribe to that channel. They're about nearly 400 short of a 1,000. So make sure people you subscribe to that channel. Tactical Devils, and it's on here. You can see there. It says it that way. Tactical Devils on YouTube. Make sure you check Ben out on Twitter. Elmo39. Luwani, there it is there. Luwani 1979. Eski, you'll never see him anywhere other than on this channel, maybe on Tactical Devils. But you'll never see him anywhere else. So big up to him. Big up to Bumbaye as well. Big up to all of you. We've got about 300 something likes. My eyes are focused on Ineos and the Glazers. I'm not talking about anything. I think Saeed's still live. I'm going to try to do a raid on Saeed's channel right now.
Big up, my brothers. You guys have a good night. Have a nice weekday, okay?
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, big up to you, bro. Appreciate you. I don't even know how do you do that. How do you do the raid? You do the raid customization. You go to customization.
I think it's.
I always forget how you do it. Anyway, he's already got 1,000 people live anyway. But I'll learn for next time.
I don't know how to do it, so I can't help you. Sorry.
It's all right. I know how to do it, but I just forgot about it. And I'm tired. I'm hungry. I've been fasting. Second day fasting, so it is what it is. We were 11 subs away from 600. There you go. Tactical Devils. It's written on there. Tactical Devils on YouTube. Jarvis breaking games down with clips. 2 hours. Go and check it out. Brilliant. While I was scuffing my face, I was watching it while I was scuffing my face after fasting all day. And actually, you guys helped me time to calm down a little bit. So it's always very calm. It's very calm, very calm. It's the best place to go after the last game. But anyway, go and check that out. Love and light, people. I'm going to make a video about the things that I found interesting about Amaroun's statement when it came to the Glazers. So free Palestine, free Lebanon, free the Congo, free Haiti, free Sudan, free Ogaden, free Tigray, free everywhere where people are oppressed, domestically, locally, nationally, and globally. We stand with all the people, indigenous people of the world. It's indigenous people of Norway, of Denmark, of Sweden. We stand with them. We stand with the Irish. We stand with the indigenous people in Latin America. We stand with indigenous people of the Middle East, the Palestinians, the Lebanese. We're against imperialism. We're against war. We're against colonization. We're against oppression. Free fucking Sudan. Fuck the GCSEs. They don't make you who you are. They don't make you who you are, Ariane. Remember that. And big up to you, and big up to Khalis Ramadine Lassie. Please make sure you check him out at Khalis Ramadine Lassie. And big up to Windy as well for the questions. At Khalis Ramadine Lassie, make sure he's the man ahead of it. He's the man ahead of it all the time. He's ahead of it. All news of Twitter, culture, music, anything. And finally, but not least, I say rest in peace to one of the greatest to ever do it, to pick up a mic. Angie Stone, one of my favorite soul singers. I'm really heartbroken about that. I've seen her maybe 4 times and always had an amazing time at her show. She was always warm, never none of this diva business. Very warm, sang her heart out, always put on a good show. And my heart breaks for her family and her son. I don't know if she's got any children, but she's got a son that I saw at the show a couple of years back, about 7 or 8 years ago. So love and light to her. May she rest in eternal peace. May she rest in power, Angie Stone. Love and light to everybody where they are in the world who are suffering, whether their religion, their gender, their orientation, and something that they can't help. So free everybody. Free everybody. Free Manchester United. Free the Manchester 10. Fuck the Glazers. Fuck Ineos. And if you want to be a bootlicker, down with them. That's you too. Take care, people. Good night.
Hey, everyone.